it's Vansh who's joined us today as the first chatter. Usually it's Mr. Subin. Welcome, Vansh. How are you doing today? How is this Sunday morning, afternoon doing for you? How's it going? Shika, welcome. You see that you have been moderated. If you don't want to be a mod, I can take away the mod status, but I thought you would do well as a mod. What do you think? I made you a mod last time. Last time you were chatting, but you left before I did it. Seema, welcome. You're back on your old account. You're back on your old account, Seema, not on the Punjani account. Literature for the something, the UPSC, something like that. Vance, you know I don't read like that. You know I don't do that. It's wrong. You can't worry and fixate what other people are feeling and thinking. That's not your business. Stop asking that question. You know it's not right. You dropped the other one. Why? I'm fine, thank you. I'm good today. How about you? How about you? How's the day going for you? So, Vansh, the Knight of Discs says that you like no, okay? You've seen challenges in your relationship with Rita, you've seen challenges in most of your relationships, and you know what it is that is creating those difficulties. You know what you can do better. You know what you can change. You know you can say something differently or you can do something differently, but you don't. You keep doing things the same way you've always been doing, even though you know you've got to change. It's like, you know that in the evenings you could be spending time with your partner, you know, you could give time and energy to your partner, but instead you watch TV or you do something else, you know, watch racing on your phone or you do something else, and you know that you can change it, but you don't. You know that you can change something and yet you don't. And this is a decision you're making. Like, you don't really want to be in this relationship anymore. You want to move on with your own life and focus on your own outcomes and your own goals. And this card is kind of saying that it's a little bit, you're like still stringing Rita along. You're letting her believe like you're still interested in her, you're still interested in a relationship when you're not really. You've already decided that you're not interested in fixing the relationship. You're not interested in working on yourself or making the changes that you know you can make. You're only interested in serving yourself, not her. And this card, number 5, the Hierophant, it just says, what kind of example are you setting, Vansh? What kind of example are you following? Maybe that relationship with Rita is limiting. Maybe she is holding you back or holding herself back or living in justification. Maybe you leaving this relationship or changing things, you know, looking after yourself instead of considering her, maybe that's all in the right direction. Maybe that's moving you towards healthier living. Maybe it's not. This card just wants you to ask yourself, what kind of example are you setting for your children or your siblings or the people who look up to you? What kind of example are you setting? Because from what I'm seeing here, you should just go ahead and get out of that relationship. You should, like, these cards are basically saying to me that you're dangling her along. You've already decided that you're not going to change, you're not going to fix this relationship, it's not worth saving, but you're still dangling her along, letting her feel like there's still hope when there really isn't. And so you should just get out of it, you should just leave it and be done with it. My voice is very low, you say? Is it back now? There it is. Yeah, I figured it out, guys. Something went wrong with this mic. It stopped working completely. Anyway, Vansh, if I'll try it for a third time. Welcome Sanch, welcome Mr. Subin, welcome Tribulator, but back to Vansh, the cards. This is the third time I say it, hopefully you hear it this time, but the cards are saying to you, let go of that relationship. Because you know what you need to do to fix it, and you've already decided you're not going to fix it. So the card's kind of saying to you that you're not exactly setting a good example by staying in a relationship that you have no interest in investing in. You should just leave. Whoa, there's a whole beehive. There's a whole fucking colony of bees just cruising over here. Look at that whole black cloud of bees. I should be a model, thank you. Ruby Samoza, we'll find out. We'll find out if there's black magic on you. Not likely. I doubt it. I doubt that someone's doing black magic. Tribulator wants a reading. Of course you can have a reading, bro. Of course you can. I'm trying to get back to where I was so I can see what's going on. I think Seema was asking for a reading after Vansh. Seema said, I had a breakup with Sanam last month, trying to move on, but he came to my mind again and again. Is he trying to manifest me? Well, that's interesting. Shut your doors and windows then. Nah, they're not coming inside. They're just looking for a new place to live. They decided that wherever they were living wasn't good enough, so they sent scouts out, and the scouts found a better place. Now they're moving. That's usually what it is when you see a whole swarm like that. They're just moving from one place to another. They're not going to try and come into your house, or they have a destination. They're not lost. They know where they're going. They know what they're doing. Sam says your drawings are just fabulous. Thank you so much. Thank you. I saw your comment and I replied. Okay, so reading for Seema. I just thought it was cool. Usually I don't see them, usually I just hear them. But I saw them now. Of course, Marawa. Anyone who's asked for a reading is in the queue. And I will get to you guys. So here I've got a Queen of Discs. And she's in reverse. Queen of Discs. Queen of Discs talks to me of like, yeah, it's that relationship coming to an end. Were you living with him? Or being physically intimate? Both, I guess. You would spend time with him, even if it's only short whiles. Basically, this card is just saying that like your whole life seems to have changed. Like when you were with him, when you were in a relationship, your life looked a certain way. You had certain routines and structures and certain level of security, and if you needed money for something, you had ways to get it, and all of that stuff has changed. Like it's been a big adjustment. Everything has changed since coming out of that relationship. But this card is saying that both of you are still clinging. Both of you are still clinging to the old. Like you ended this relationship because you both wanted to move on to better things, but both of you are still clinging on to old things. Like still sitting and wishing, oh, I wish I was still in a relationship with him because then I could just phone him and ask him for a lift to the casino or whatever it might be. You know, you're still clinging to habits and lifestyle from that time that don't exist in the present. No, you don't live with him, but maybe you did for a little while, spend a little time sleeping over for a week or something like that. You did spend a few nights over at him a few times, as far as that card is saying. As far as that's telling me, even if it was sneaky and nobody knew about it, it was still happening. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords in the present. Ooh, look at that, the Pugar. Well, thank you for following, Pugar. Pugari. Welcome in. Ace of Swords in reverse. Back to this reading for Seema. Ace of Swords. This is like communicating your new goals. Communicating. Yeah, it's like you're not communicating. You've got ideas on what you want to create for yourself now that you're out of this relationship. You've got ideas and like what you're gonna do with your newfound freedom, maybe. but you're not communicating it. And that communication, you know, talking about what your ideas and your plans and your goals that you're setting, that is the way that that's the first step towards manifesting it, you know, to talk about it out loud. If you're like pretending it's not there, pretending like you're not having these ideas, pretending like there's no plan, you're not allowing it to manifest. You're not giving it form. You have to give it form, sound waves or pictures, like write it down or speak it out loud. That's how you set it in motion. That's how it starts to become physical. Zzz all the time. Zzz all the time. Zzz all the time. Thanks for joining the queue and welcome in Sleep All the Time. We will get to you. We got a queue. The bots don't really work and they're full of shit. I hear that Stream Elements is a good bot, so I'm going to try that one, but all the other bots that I've tried so far didn't work for me. Sometimes they would accept people into the queue and sometimes they would not, and so that just created more confusion than anything else. 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Discs, 7 of Discs. So the 7 of Discs is saying that you've got like someone else in your mind. There's someone else you want to get into a relationship with. This is for Seema still. Like there's another guy in your mind and you're like, I'd like to be in a relationship with him. Or you want to, you want to manifest a relationship with him, not with the guy you used to be in a relationship with. But this card, it says that nothing has changed in your behavior or your patterns or your thought processing. So going into this, if you go into a new relationship, things are going to be exactly the same and are going to end exactly the same as before. Like, why did you come out of your relationship with that guy that you just broke up with? Why did that end? You wanted to move on to better things. You felt like this relationship was holding you back, or that you guys were trapped in toxic cycles. Not toxic cycles, just unhealthy cycles, stifling cycles that prevent your growth. So you wanted to get out of it so you could grow more, and now you want to get into another relationship that's again going to stifle you. You haven't made the changes, or you haven't done the healing that you planned to do. You know, the whole reason why you broke up with him, you haven't filled that reason yet. So you're not going to any relationship? Good. Don't go to any relationship. This card is saying that there are boys on your mind that you would like to get into a relationship with, and it says that you haven't done what you need to do before you can move on yet. And welcome Zara, welcome back, and thank you so much for your support, and for joining us today. Welcome in. Hit the like button, say hello, and you'll be added to the list for reading. Fantastic. Zara is right. Zzz all the time. Sleep all the time. It's not so bad. It's a little bit catchy. It's a little bit like smart. Loving the enthusiasm. It's one who my parents want to marry me with. Oh, now that. Pugar321. Interesting name. Now I see it. That is a difficult one, Seema. But next in the queue is the Tribulator. Do you have a question, bro? Or should I just like let the cards speak? I'm gonna read the thought deck. I am doing well, thank you so much for asking. I really do appreciate your concern for my health, checking in with me. I hope you're doing well. Mr. Subin, let me know if you want a reading. You usually come in for reading. Sukumani, welcome. I want to know why my manifestations doesn't seem to come to fruition. Okay, that's an interesting question. Yours isn't so bad, Pooja. What is it? Pooji? actually got my stuff together after the last reading. Fucking fantastic. That's great news. Thank you for the feedback. Well, I'm gonna see now. I'm gonna see what kind of growth and progress you've been making. But I'd say if you're getting your shit together, then your manifestations are coming true. Maybe just not in the way you were expecting, or just not in the order that you're expecting. But like if I say I'm gonna get my shit together and then my shit starts getting together, that is, you know, that is a manifestation of its own. Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands tells me that you're doubting yourself still. That's the primary reason why your desires don't manifest, is because you have too many doubts going into the process. And after you've finished making your sigil and casting your spell or whatever it is, then your mind keeps going back to it and you're like, oh, what if I did that wrong? Oh, what if that? Oh, what if that? So you end up like going through this narrative in your mind, trying to convince yourself of why it's going to succeed, and that all of that energy that you're focusing on it, all that doubtful energy you're focusing on it kind of tears it apart. And that doesn't prevent manifestations, that just creates outcomes that you don't expect. It creates, like, you're trying to manifest one thing, but then you keep on throwing more code into it. It's like you write a program and then you keep going back, oh, what if it's not good enough? And you add all of these other codes and it turns into a whole different program by the time you're done with it. That's kind of what the Queen of Wands is saying there. Prince of Cups in reverse. Prince of Cups. Okay, so this card says that you understand that your emotions play a big part in your manifestations and your spell work. And you kind of know what you could be doing better in your manifestations, how to channel your emotions better into your outcomes, but you haven't really applied it. You're still doing it the old way, so I don't know what that looks like. Just affirmations. I don't really know what your methods are, but this card is kind of saying to me that you know that there are ways that you could use your emotions to power your outcomes better, power your manifestation, but you don't really know how to apply it to your method that you have, and so you're still doing things the old way. Even though you know your emotions can help you, you're still not applying them yet. So this card just says to you, you know, first of all, you don't need to convince yourself. You know, all of those doubtful thoughts, you can just ignore it. You can just fire and forget. And then this one is saying that there are ways you can channel your emotions. So basically, whatever you're feeling, direct it through your focus. So remember I told you about the Anapana, which is like learning to focus your attention on your breath. So if you can do that for like 5 minutes, then you can focus on your spell for 5 minutes, directing whatever emotions you're feeling, whether that's anger or joy or sadness, whatever it is. If you can focus for a few minutes on it, you can direct those feelings into it as well. Thank you so much for the follow, the subscribe, Shah. Five of Cups. Five of Cups. What is this one saying to me? So the Five of Cups says to me that you're doing the best that you can. There are limits on what you can believe. Like our manifestation, the biggest part of it, the most important part of manifestation is believing in it. So this card, the Five of Cups, is saying that there are still limits based on how you were raised. There are still limits on how strongly you can believe in your own outcome. And for that reason, it just says to you, you know, take it slow. Like, you're already seeing, you said you're getting your shit together, so that is you succeeding. That is a manifestation that's coming true. So it's kind of saying, take small steps like that. Take a step in the right direction, and then you'll be able to take a bigger step next time, and then a bigger step next time. So rather than focusing on your shortcomings and your failed manifestations, focus on your successful manifestations, even if they have been small, even if they're not as significant as you think they are. Focus on the ones that are successful, because with each successful step, your next step can be bigger. And that's your reading. Shlok, please don't spam. And Shabano, same thing. You know, you can ask your question once and I'll put you to the queue, but Shlok, I don't read about other people's feelings because that's none of your business. It's that person's feelings. Like Vishta's current feelings or Vidisha's current feelings are Vidisha's business, not your business. So we will leave Vidisha's feelings to her. And you're welcome, Tribulator. So I think the next one in the queue was Ruby Samosa. Ruby, are you still here? And after Ruby will be Mr. Subin. And then after Mr. Subin is Marwa. Okay, you guys are still here. Okay, so starting with Ruby, we want to find out if there's black magic on you. So my spirit is already saying to me no. Nobody is deliberately trying to cast black magic on you. No one is doing voodoo of you. No one is, you know, putting you in a jar and freezing you in the freezer. No one is attacking you with magic. No one except yourself, that is. Like when someone says something to you and it makes you feel upset, and you spend the whole day upset, and the more upset you get, the more bad luck you seem to have. Like you kick your toe on the edge of a table, that makes you more upset. Then you break a glass, that makes you more upset. And the more upset you get, the more chaos seems to come into your life. So no one is putting that black magic on you. No one is putting that negativity there. You're encouraging it. You're allowing it to be there. And all you have to do is stop for a moment when you're feeling upset and focus on the things that you have to be grateful for instead of on the things that you're upset about. And you know, that'll bring you out. Exactly. Zara's got it. Thank you so much. Sanch, I haven't skipped you. We will be getting to you. Have I skipped you? Have I skipped you? There's a queue, Shabana, there's a Shabana, there's a queue. So I'm scrolling back up to the top to see if I skipped Sanch, and you said you're doing well. You didn't ask for a reading. Yes, exactly. Donations will get you skipped to the top of the queue. $9. $9 or more will get you skipped. And it will get you 6 cards, just like it says on the screen somewhere over here. But yeah. Sanch, I didn't see you ask for a reading, so I guess that's why I skipped you. I was focusing on the people who said, hey, can I get a reading? I was focusing on those people. Because the other tarot reader keeps telling me someone is doing black magic to me. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't know, hey? I don't know what to say about that. Three of Wands in reverse. What is it saying? It says that you are aware of what it's going to take. Like, you know what it takes to live in the things that you're passionate about, to do the things you're passionate about. You know what your desires are going to take. Like, you want something, you know what it requires of you to get what you want. But it feels like it's too big. Like, the things that you want are going to cost too much for you, cost too much energy, cost too much time, so you don't work towards the things that you desire because you feel like they're too big or not something you can accomplish. And that's not true. This card says it's not true. Whatever you can visualize or anything you can imagine, you can manifest. It is possible, but you've got to be working towards it. Prince of Wands. So the Prince of Wands says that you've been dealing with this black magic problem as if you are cursed. Like this other tarot reader told you, you've got black magic, so you've been facing it like it's black magic. You've been, I don't know, getting people to cast spells for you to banish the black magic, or you've been saging your house, or you've been banishing, taking a pot and smacking it, or like shakers, because all of those things help disperse the energy. It's like you've been facing it head on. You're like, well, if there's black magic here, I'm gonna fucking deal with it. And that's a good attitude to have. That's a very good attitude to have, because even if you haven't been cursed and it's your own energy that needs to shift, all of those things, all those actions you're taking are shifting your energy. Even though you're not being cursed, you're still like moving into a better vibration by challenging the negative energies. Even if those negative energies are coming from your own habits in your own life, you're still challenging it and overcoming it. Ten of Cups in reverse. So this says that there's still loss. All of this negative energy that looks like black magic, or that this other tarot reader is calling black magic, it's actually loss. It's pain of loss. Like when you leave a relationship, or if somebody breaks up with you, or if someone you know dies, or your dog dies, or if there's pain of loss in your heart, or you move from one location to another and you lose friendships, whatever the case might be, this card is saying that there's pain of loss that hasn't truly been felt yet. So like the negative energy that builds up, and like you feel like you're under black magic, it's because of that pain of loss that you haven't allowed it to be expressed yet. So this card, it says to you, allow it to be expressed. Like when you think about it and you feel that pain or that heartache, don't get angry about it. Don't start, like, I know the energy. It's like, I'm thinking about my ex, suddenly my heart aches, and then I feel angry about it, and then I start doing things. I wash the dishes, but I wash it angrily, and then I break something that makes me angry, and then I'm cooking and I put too much salt in the food, and then I kick my toe on this thing, and then it just gets more and more out of hand. So this card says, just express it. Like when you feel the pain, stay where you are, breathe, let yourself cry, write about it, write a letter to that person, even if you never send it. Express the feeling, because that'll help you find more peace. It'll help you bring more harmony into your space. Okay, so that was for Ruby. So I'm gonna have a look here. Mr. Subin, and then I'll do Sanj. So I'm gonna do Mr. Subin, and then Sanj, #Sanj, and then Marwa. You're welcome, Ruby. You're welcome. And thank you for the feedback. Do the 5, do the 5. High five, Mr. Stubin. High five. Ariel, high five. Rara, welcome in, welcome in. Of course, you can be added. Thank you for joining us today. Of course, you can ask a question. Maro, welcome, by the way, welcome. So Ruby, the best advice I can have for you is to express that pain, to let it be expressed in some kind of creativity. I find when I'm really hurting, if I'm really angry or really sad, then I'll draw something really dark, I'll draw something very graphic or dark, something that really expresses that pain that I'm feeling. Or I'll play a song that sounds so sad, and that kind of thing. Okay, so Mr. Subin wants general reading. We've got a Magus in reverse. And we've got a Knight of Cups in reverse. And we've got an 8 of Swords in reverse. Okay, so this Magus, Mr. Subin, this Magus says to you, you've got to be communicating clearly. So I remember the last time I did a reading for you, this came up as well. It was saying that you feel like you're not able to accomplish your plans, you're not able to accomplish the things that you're creating, you feel like there's problems in the environment, you feel like your family doesn't agree or can't help you. And I remember I was telling you about being flexible with others, because they don't tell you what they're doing, they just expect you to fulfill responsibilities. And the same with you, you don't tell anybody what you're doing, you make up these plans and ideas and you start doing it without communicating, and so then they end up getting in the way. So this card is saying to you, just please communicate. It's emphasizing if you want that change to happen, you need to be honest and vulnerable and clear. If you come up with plans or ideas, to immediately talk about them with your school teacher and your aunt and this person and anyone who might need to know about it. You communicate with them. Tell them about what your plans are, what your ideas are, what you're doing. Talk about it. Knight of Cups here, this one says to me that you're learning better ways to interact with your emotions. Like before, whenever something goes wrong and you get angry, immediately you want to blame. Blame that person, blame the environment, blame this, blame blah 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 blah, get angry. React to the anger, do something spiteful, do something passive aggressive. But you're learning that that's not good, that doesn't help you get to where you want to go, that doesn't help you accomplish your goals. So you're learning to, when you feel that anger, or you feel that frustration, or you feel things that are negative, instead of allowing the emotion to tell you what to do, you tell the emotion how it's going to be expressed. Like, instead of the emotion saying, oh, you're angry, you better do something aggressive, you're like, okay, I'm angry, so I'm going to use this anger to fulfill my goals. I'm going to study with this anger, I'm going to use that energy of focus and like, I'm going to fucking study and move towards my goals. You're learning better, constructive ways to express your emotions. And it's not like you realized this of your own. It was more like you didn't really have much of a choice. You had to start doing different things with your emotions, because you were seeing that you were, like, every time that you reacted to a negative emotion, you saw you were hurting your life, you were hurting the people around you, you were hurting yourself. So you realize you have to start making a change. There's no other option. You have to change what you do with your emotions when you feel them. And 8 of Swords in reverse. This one, it says to me that you've got certain habits that are keeping you away from your goals. It says that person, that lifestyle that you want to live, it's going to require things of you. There's like a very specific character that has the things you desire from life, who lives in your dreams, who fulfills your goals. And you know, there are habits that you have. I don't know what those habits are, psychically defining it. Okay, what do those habits look like? Habits like coming for tarot readings and planning instead of doing, thinking instead of doing, dreaming instead of doing. That's the habit that is attached to the old. Like, you've got this vision, I'm going to create this with my life, but then you've got the habit of procrastination, habits of pushing it aside, rather planning some more, thinking some more, getting more tarot readings, casting more spells instead of actually doing the work. So that needs to shift. This card is saying that needs to shift. You got to go from the thinking stage into the doing stage if you ever hope to get to your outcomes. Welcome, Sijal and Sukumani. Please don't ask your question again and again. Please only ask once. Thank you. So that was Mr. Subin. Following Mr. Subin is #Sanch. So Sanch, you can give me a question now, because I see you didn't post a question before. Yes, Mr. Subin, go and do it, you know, just do it, is what the cards are saying. Talk about it first, so that everyone knows what your plans are, and then just do it. You just want a general reading for the week ahead? Fantastic. I'm going to read from the other one. Alright, so it's on Sanch's week. What's happening in Sanch's week? Let's see. Okay, so this first card is going to be what was going on for you last week. The center card is going to be about things that you can change right now, things you are doing right now, things you shouldn't be doing, things you should be doing. And then that last card is going to be about what's happening for you in the week and advice for the new week. Okay, so last week, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups, Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is saying last week you felt incomplete, you felt low, disappointed maybe. There were things that made you feel low in your emotions, and you could see that you could change things. You were like, okay, well, if I was doing this differently, if I had this, or if I drew something, or maybe if I was eating something better, or maybe if I went to bed earlier and woke up earlier, I would feel better. So you had these thoughts, you knew what you could do differently to make yourself feel better, and you tried to apply it, you tried to put it in place. And the point of that was to get into a healthier, was to make a breakthrough in your emotions so you could feel better. In the present, we've got a Three of Swords, so that's kind of been working. You've been seeing progress, like going to bed earlier or eating better or whatever it is that you applied. So now you're like, okay, well, I want to accomplish certain things. I have certain goals that I want to meet. So right now in the present, where you are this weekend, you've been becoming aware of what it's going to take. So like you're setting goals. Okay, I want to accomplish this by the end of the month. I want to okay, that. Setting goals for yourself, setting purpose. And then realizing, okay, well, if I want that to happen, I'm going to have to do this on Monday, or I'm going to have to do that on Wednesday, because Tuesday there's this other thing that's happening. I won't have time. So you're like figuring out what is actually going to take, what it's going to take for you to get to your goals. And that gives hope. This card says to you that gives hope. That's a very important part. It's like nourishing your plans. That making yourself aware of what you're going to have to do and where you're going to have to be flexible, that actually allows your goals to become complete. That's what gives hope to their outcome. Welcome VG, VGG, VGG, welcome in. Thank you for the like. And next week, this coming week, I've got Strength in reverse. Okay, so the Strength card, it's like I was talking about the Strength card with some other tarot readers the other day. We were like bouncing ideas off of each other. And basically what we came to, it's like self-acknowledgement. Strength comes from self-acknowledgement. Like I wake up in the morning and I don't feel like getting out of bed, but I get out of bed anyway, then to say to myself, well done, you did that. You got out of bed even though you didn't want to. Go and I've got goals, like we saw with your Three of Swords, you got goals, but now I don't feel motivated, or I feel overwhelmed, and yet I still do something that helps me accomplish it. To recognize and say, well, even though you didn't finish it, you still tried, you still did that, well done. Recognizing yourself for the little things that you do. So this card in reverse, it's kind of warning you that you're gonna try and accomplish your goals. Like whatever it is that you've set for yourself, that's what you're going to be doing in this coming week, and you're going to fall short. We always fall short. You're going to make progress and you're going to fall short, and this card just wants you to focus on the progress that you make and not on the areas that you fall short. It says recognize yourself, encourage yourself, motivate yourself, almost as if you were your own parent, your own mother or your own father. Say to yourself, well done, you did that. Even though you failed, you still tried, you did that, you did well over here, well done. That's what the Strength card is saying. There's also a number on it. It's number 8. Number 8. Okay, so the number 8 says that you want to live a certain kind of lifestyle. You want to have a certain level of income. You want to have a certain kind of house, a certain kind of relationship. So all of these changes that you're making here, the things that you're going to be going through in this new week, learning to give yourself recognition, all of that is the process of moving, of changing into who you need to become in order to have that life that you dream of having. Like who you currently are is not compatible with that outcome. You have to change and become the person that lives your dreams. So that's what's happening in this next week, is you taking the first steps, cutting out old habits and adapting new habits that start moving you towards that person that you have to become. Welcome, Maccabi. Welcome in, and thank you for your recognition. And Midnight Rain, welcome. Welcome, Midnight. Midnight, I want to make you a mod on Twitch. Is that cool? Can I do that? Because you are like a regular full-time supporter nowadays, and I really do appreciate it. And yeah, sometimes I get spammers and weird people in the chat, and Exclaim is a mod, but you know Exclaim is not always here, and when he is here he usually only can stay for a little while before he has things to do. So yeah, I'd love to make you a mod as well. I've got Zara and Macabri as mods on YouTube. Basically it just means you'll be able to time people out if they're getting rowdy in the chat. Okay, so after Sanj we had Marwa Ben Khaib. Marwa. So you still here, Marwa? Sure, okay, fantastic. And then, so it shall be. I endow you with moderator privileges. Davey Kogram, yo, what's up, bro? Welcome in. Thank you for joining me again. It's been a while since I saw you. Basically, yeah, you know when bots come in or spammers or people get rude, you know that's all. That's all. You can just use your own judgment. Like if you feel like you need to ban someone or you need to warn someone. So Marwa, I'm waiting for confirmation. Of course, you can get added to the queue, Jocelyn. You can just jump right in there, and I'll do reading for you when I get to your name in the queue. Yeah, you're in the queue. Just because you asked for reading, that adds you to the queue. There is a list that I will get to you. Oh, so we've got a Marwa as well as a Marwa. So Marwa, the Marwa I was talking to is a different Marwa. It's a M-A-R-W-A, but I guess that Marwa is gone, so I'll move on and see who was next. So we had a Pugar321 who didn't join, just greeted. Okay, after Purwa, was it Pugar? It was Sleep All the Time. Zzz all the time. So Sleep All the Time, are you here? Because I'm ready to do your reading. When I was checking my Twitch viewer counter, there was 2, and then I know Dapicogram and Midnight Rain are on Twitch, so I guess that means that Zzz all the time is not here. Thank you for joining the queue, Dapicogram. I got you. We will get. Yeah, I'll get to you and do reading for you. But just like Zara is saying, guys, you are all welcome to skip the queue with a $9 or more tip. That'll skip the queue and it'll get you 6 cards. But yeah, it's entirely optional. Okay, moving on. What? Where are we? Where are we? What? Sukmani GRS. Are you here? Because you're the next name on my queue. You're the next name on the list. Sukmani. I wanted to know about guardian angels and spirit guides. You need to take a very small intermission to allow your dog back inside. Of course, there's no pressure. See you soon. Sukmani, where you at? Are you here? Shabano. Shabano. Since Sukmani is gone, is Shabano still here? Welcome back, and yes, of course, you're in the queue. You're in the queue now. Shabano, where you at, Shabano? Shabano, not here anymore. Okay, moving on. Shlok. Shlok, are you still here? It's very simple and unique username. But like everybody is leaving the queue. Everyone's leaving the chat right now. Shlok, are you still there? That's all good, you know, it just means that we will get to you guys who just joined the queue, like Jocelyn and Debikogram and Midnight. We'll get to you sooner. That's all it means. What is the queue right now? What is the queue right now? I'm gonna tell you who's next. I'll tell you who's next. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Who's next? Rara. Rara is next. And after Rara is Marawa. Okay, so we're just gonna give Rara a few seconds just to hear if Rara is still here before we move on to Maro. Thank you for your patience, Lokili. Marawa Lokili, welcome. And yeah, it's the first time that I see your name. Or am I wrong? Have you been here before? Has it just been a while since you were here last? Rara is here. Okay, fantastic. So Rara, you can go ahead and give me a question and then I'll read for you. Oh, you just changed your profile picture, Zara. Very nice. I love the new one. Your hair is so like wavy and amazing. Midnight Rain Love says, I'm back. Fantastic. Welcome back. You're welcome. Sorara, I'm just waiting for your question. Oh wait, there it is. Excuse me. What will be the results of my mom's medical test? What will be the results of mom's medical test? Okay. She has a checkup tomorrow. Let's see what the cards are saying. Six of Wands. Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands, it's like your mom has been doing everything that she can to improve her health situation. Like, she sees the world a certain way, right? And so she's doing the best that she can to improve her health and to heal herself with what she knows and understands. But recently she has been like interacting with new people, making new connections, learning about, oh, this person has herbal remedies that they use for this kind of problem. Oh, that person does this or has this kind of solutions. So like her ability to work on herself and heal herself and improve her own health is improving. It's evolving as she's interacting with other people who have new ideas, new methods, new techniques. She's like learning from them and they're learning from her. So this is really encouraging to see. It's a Six of Wands. Pardon me. Pardon me. Ace of Cups. Okay, so this card, the Ace of Cups, tells me that she's feeling a lot of distress. She's feeling a lot of fear and hopelessness and pain, and she's not talking about it. She's pretending like she's fine. She's putting on a smile. Everything is fine. You know, she's trying to be strong, but she's actually really feeling depressed and hopeless and afraid. And I feel like this card, okay, so if I was in your situation, right, let's say my mom had, because she does, my mom recently lost her brother, and she goes around about her days just pretending like everything's fine, just smile, continue living, go to work, do everything that she normally does. And so, you know, I would go to her every now and then and I'd say, hey, you know, I can see you, and I know how, I can only imagine how much pain you must be going through, and you're very strong, you know, you're dealing with it, that I would hardly notice that you just lost your brother. Just recognizing her, even though she's not talking about it, to talk about it on her behalf, to address the elephant in the room, can really help it, can really touch your mom if you address it. You know, just recognize, just acknowledge, yes, I see you. Even though you are being strong and you're putting on a face for everyone and you're trying to stay positive, I can see the pain still, and I love you, Mom. Jordy wants to know if I'm a girl or a boy. What do you think? Six of Discs. Six of Discs. Okay, so this is saying that the results of tomorrow's test are going to be shocking, are going to be a surprise, they're going to be disappointing, something that's scary. Yeah, it's going to be a turn of events that's like, oh, why does it have to be this reality? I don't want it to be what we've just discovered it is. But at the same time, there is hope, like understanding what the issue is. Like this test is going to help you guys see clearly what the issue is, even though you don't want it to be what it's going to be upsetting, like we don't want it to be this. I don't know what the issue is with your mom, but the test tomorrow is going to confirm what it is, and you guys are going to be disappointed and upset about what it is. But at the same time, the fact that you know what it is allows you to fight it, allows you to work against it, to get the right kind of treatments, the right kind of medicines, the right kind of procedures. So there's going to be like a mixed emotional experience with tomorrow's test. It's going to be good news and bad news. I think you're a boy, says Jordy. Well, then a boy I shall be. A wonderful, delightful, intelligent, interesting man. Thank you so much for all of your flattering words, Midnight. Although I know you're not flattering me. A very handsome man. Thank you so much, Zara. Very beautiful woman. Both Midnight and Zara. And probably you as well, Jordy. I don't see your profile picture, but you know, all humans are beautiful. So, you must be beautiful. And thank you for joining us today. Welcome in. And if you think I'm a boy, then a boy I shall be. If you think I'm a girl, then a girl I shall be. Whatever. Doesn't matter to me. It's all labels, right? It's all labels. You're welcome, Rara. And we had... What was your name again? Marawa Laukili. Laukili. And you're welcome, Zara, and thank you. So Marawa Laukili. Sukmani, I called your name a bunch of times and you didn't answer. So if you want to get that reading, you have to rejoin the queue, because I've moved on. I've done like 4 readings since I called your name. Yeah, we've moved gone too far. You have to get back in the queue. Join again. Join again, please, Sukmani. Join again. Am I pronouncing your name right? Because maybe that's why you didn't hear me when I called you, because I'm saying Sukmani, GRS Sukmani. Is that right? Welcome, Dipshika. Dipshika. I love it. Love that name. Okay, so Maroa Lokili is next. And Dipshika wants to know why Siddhartha has blocked her on WhatsApp. Or is it internet issues? AES. I will add you as well. No problem. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us today. No one ever told you that? Oh, well, it's the truth. It's a fucking cool name. I'm pronouncing your name right. That's so good to hear. Thank you for letting me know. And so we're doing Marua Lokili's reading. I see you. You said, can I ask a question? Did you ask a question? Because as soon as you ask a question, I can read for it. Wait, there it is. How does Elena feel about me? I was wondering if she'll reach out to me. If so, when? Okay, so Elena's feelings are Elena's business, but we're still going to do a tarot reading for you. See what the spirit says. Just by the way, guys, the tarot cards have no power. They have no psychic special powers. It's me. I'm the psychic. I'm the one who's doing the reading. It's my spirit that speaks through the symbols of the cards. Just wanted to confirm that. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. Okay, so the King of Pentacles, the King of Discs. This card is in reverse, so it kind of says that in your past relationships, Marawa, you haven't necessarily worked really well with your partners. Like you guys have the potential to be really good in your past relationships. You're in a relationship, you could be working really well together, you could complement one another, they could support you, you could support them. But you have your own way of doing things. You have your own way of, you have an idea of what a priority is and what essentials are, and you have your way of doing things, your way of interacting with the world, your diet, your sleeping patterns, and they have their own, and neither of you is really ready to be flexible or make changes for the other one. And if you did though, and like you're strong alone, he's strong alone, imagine if you guys work together. So this card is showing up saying that if you want to be in this relationship with Elena, it's time to work on your teamwork game. It's time to improve your teamwork game. Learning to be flexible and make changes, do things differently for the sake of the person that you're interested in. The Hanged Man. Okay, so the Hanged Man is number 12, and the Hanged Man is basically saying that you've got to take action. Like, you don't want to confront Elena, you don't want to talk to her about feelings and learn if she's going to reach out to you. Like, you need to be the one to reach out to her and talk about your feelings, not the other way around. It's discomforting, it's something you're scared to do. There's like fear of rejection, fear of failure there. So it's like painful, or it's scary, or it's just uncomfortable in general. But you're going to have to do it, you know, you're going to have to face that challenge, you're going to have to face that discomfort if you want to make a breakthrough. You can't just sit back and wait for her to face the challenge. You should also be making an effort to face the challenge. Welcome Bharti, welcome in Bharti, and welcome Piyush Tangsale. Four of Wands. Four of Wands. The colors in this card are very interesting. But the Four of Wands is about structure and discipline and routine and consistency. That sort of thing. Discipline. Okay, so basically this Four of Wands says if you're serious about this relationship with Elena, you need to like regularly take action. Like there should be part of your routine should be communicating with her, sending her messages. Beautiful wake up message. Hey beautiful, thank you so much for the subscription, by the way, Piyush. But okay, back to the reading for Maroa. You need to send her like a wake up message. Morning beautiful, how you doing today? Hope you have a blessed beautiful day. Can't wait to hear back from you. Taking a picture, if you take pictures of yourself or a selfie, send one through to her saying hey. Or you take a picture of, you're like standing at the edge of the lagoon and you take a picture of the water and like send it to her. I was standing by the lagoon and I thought of you, send it to her. You know, this card is talking about committing to the relationship and being consistent. If you really want it, if you really want her, like to commit to that relationship, even as a friend. Commit to her as a friend. And you know, what does commitment look like? It looks like regular discipline, regular engagement, regular investments. That's what that card is saying. You took my name correctly. Damn. I also have a question. Can you add me to the list? Of course, I'll put you in the list. Yeah. Maroa says, thank you, this was helpful. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you for your feedback and letting me know how it impacts you. I look forward to seeing how your journey evolves and how you grow when you come back for your next reading. So next in the queue was Sijal. Sijal Yadav. I'm going to call out the names that are in the queue so far. So we're starting with Sijal Yadav. Next in the queue is VGG, capital V, capital G, lowercase g, VGG. Jocelyn Anderson. You know, a lot of people call me Jocelyn for some reason. Hello, Jocelyn. I'm like, what? That's not my name. People who have known me my whole life, I don't know where they come up with that. And new tomorrow. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so Jocelyn is here. Out of all those names that I called, Jocelyn is here. But I don't correct them. If people say my name wrong, I don't correct them. I let them call me whatever the fuck they want to call me. Okay, so Jocelyn was next. Let me see, what was your question? The question was... Okay, you can go ahead and ask your question because I see you didn't. Do you see me in a relationship this year? Okay. And if so, when? I'm sure. I'm sure. Okay, so let's ask Mama. So this deck is Mama, and this deck is Papa. So we can ask Mama. Will Jocelyn find herself in a relationship this year? Okay, so the pendulum is swinging back and forth, which is a yes, but it's very slow. So it's saying yes, you're going to be in a relationship. Maybe it's not going to be everything that you're expecting. Like, you have this idea of what kind of relationship you want. Well, not every relationship you be in is going to be what you want. Not every relationship is going to be perfect or good or right. And there's like a clockwise rotation, so it's saying you're probably going to be in more than one relationship this year. You're probably going to get into a relationship, have a breakup, and then get into another relationship while the year is finished. And what does Mama say? Mama says teamwork. Mama says teamwork. It's the King of Discs, King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles is about working together with others. So like, you are trying to create financial security, physical security, setting an exercise routine, setting diet, things like that. That kind of change, that kind of growth, working on your physical world, your physical health, your physical fitness, your physical income, finances and money. It's saying that, you know, learning to do those things, learning to work well in those areas of your life. There are other people who you will interact with who will help you with that. Like, that's where you're going to find your relationships. That's where your relationship is going to come from. So if you're going to work, you're probably going to meet guys at work and you're going to try out relationships there. If you're going to the gym, you're probably going to meet guys at the gym and you're going to try out relationships there, so on and so forth. Just came back from your exam. Welcome, Jasmine. Welcome in, welcome back. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. I hope it went well. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it went well? Do you feel like you did really badly? I remember when I did my final exam at school, I was like, fuck, I feel like I failed badly. I feel like I did fucking terrible. I did well though. Sorry about the lag and stuff, guys. You feel great. Okay, amazing. You feel like you've done well. Manad Mod, welcome in, welcome in. Jocelyn Anderson says, wow, thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you for that recognition, and I hope that I will see you again soon, Jocelyn. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see you, lovely. Will my family be okay when I'm gone? So where are we at now? We had Jocelyn's reading. After Jocelyn, who was next? Depicogram was next. And after Depicogram was Midnight Rain Love. And after that was... Sukmani. So Manan Mod, of course you can be added to the queue. I got you. You're in. And Jasmine, same thing. You're in the queue. You're in the queue. And blessings from New Zealand. Amazing. We're in the Republic of South Africa, Jocelyn. Republic of South Africa. And New Tomorrow says, I join. Fantastic. Yeah, sorry about the buffering. Sorry about the buffering and stuff, guys. The weather is getting a bit rowdy, and I think that's what it is. Weather is getting a bit stormy and stuff. Depicogram isn't here. Okay, no problem. Moving on to Midnight Rain then. So you can ask a question if you have one. Or I can just read generally. Boppity boop. We're in a magical group. Staying inside the loop. What other words rhyme? Loop, group, poop. Dupe. Don't get yourself dupe. No buffering. Yeah, I know it has, like, there are moments. There are moments when it buffers. And Dapicogram isn't in the viewers list at least. Yeah, he's probably smoking a bong. Let him do his thing. He might come back later. So I'm gonna lay your spread out for you now, Midnight, and you can drop your question at any point. What is that? Braneb 2020, welcome in, and you are joining, you exclaiming to join, welcome. Welcome, and I've got you in that queue there. So how you doing though? Okay, Midnight, I'm ready to turn your cards over. Let's see what we've got. Hanged Man in reverse. I don't know if you're familiar with the tarot. Like, what do you feel like that talks about? I'm gonna interpret, but it's like still interesting when I get tarot readings and people show me what the cards are. Like, I'm already getting the information. I'm already reading it as they're turning them over, and it's very interesting to hear their reading versus my reading. The Chariot also in reverse. Should I try to go and find a new job or career path? That was the Chariot. This is the Four of Wands in reverse. Thank you for the follow, Piyash. So did you go through the links? Yes, you did. Amazing. Thank you. You went through the links on YouTube into Twitch and followed me there after you subscribed. Thank you so much for the double platform support. Okay, so where are we here? Doing readings for Midnight Rain. Should Midnight try and find a new job or career path? That's very interesting. It's like rotating clockwise. It's not going left or right or up or down. It's rotating clockwise. So what I feel this is saying is that the future is what you create, Midnight. The future is what you set in motion. You could create a fulfilling and complete life within the career of trucking, or you could create a fulfilling and full life in another career. Could create a full and fulfilling life in your own private business. It's basically just saying that the future is what you create. It's your clock. It's your present. It's your future. You're even entertaining going back to school for various certificates. Well. Okay, so let's interpret these cards. The Hanged Man in reverse. So the Hanged Man in reverse is like coming to the realization of what you can shift. It's like an insight. You facing discomfort, facing challenges in order to arrive at new perspective, new insight. When the Hanged Man is reverse, it indicates that you've already arrived at that new insight. You've already seen the perspective shift. Okay, this is what I need to do to change things. This is what I need to do to get out of the discomfort. But even though you've arrived at the conclusion, even though you've arrived at the solution, you're not applying it yet. You're still in that situation of discomfort or pain, or like, I feel like this is specifically talking about your job as a trucker. Like, you are facing certain ideas in your mind and you're like, okay, I know what I need to do, what I need to shift in order to make this easier for myself, in order to make my life better. But you're not applying that solution yet. You're still in the discomfort. You're still living the discomforting hours riding back and forth. You haven't done the communication, or you haven't put in your resignation, or you haven't made applications to new jobs or to schools. You haven't applied the solution yet. You've already seen the perspective shift, but it hasn't been applied. The Chariot. The Chariot in reverse is saying that you are spending too much in the decision-making process. The Chariot, number 7, is all about decision making. It's like you're contemplating all the various outcomes, all the various possibilities, all the different futures. But as long as you're sitting there considering all these endless possibilities, none of it manifests. When there's the potential for anything and everything, none of it will become your reality. You will stay where you currently are. You're going to have to choose. Am I going back to school to get that certificate? Am I going to that job as a car salesman? Am I staying in this position as a trucker? Am I going to another trucking company? You know, all these different options. You have to choose one before it will manifest. As long as you're still considering, okay, I think maybe this one, okay, I think maybe that one. Is this one better? Is that one better? Is this one better? Like you said, you're contemplating. You're still contemplating. And this card is just saying that you've spent too much time here contemplating. You're still contemplating. You've been contemplating for too long. Nothing is changing. You never come out of the discomfort if you stay in the place of contemplation. You've got to choose one of those outcomes and then commit to it. Stay on that path towards that outcome. Because if you stay on the path towards it, no matter what you choose, you will find the outcome. Four of Wands in the future. This card talks about creating patterns or cycles in your daily life. Wands is about your desires, and it's about your intentions. So you set intentions, you make your decision, you know what you want, and then there are certain tasks that you do every day, certain goals, certain things that you repeat every day that help you get closer to your desires. Like for me, creating engaging content is something that I have to do every day. Practicing guitar, practicing art, these are things that I do every day because they bring me, each time that I do it, it takes me one step closer to my desires, to my dreams. This card is in reverse though, so what does that say? So the card in reverse says that you're missing out on the full potential of your dreams. Because the habits or the things that are in your daily structure, they are creating something, but it's not necessarily what you want to create. Like you've got certain habits, certain actions, certain structures in your routine. Like I remember the last time we spoke, that one time we spoke, you talked about doing financial admin, paying bills and stuff. So that's, you know, these are things that you do regularly that are part of your structure, and it is creating a future, but it's not necessarily the future that you want. So this card, I guess, is just saying to you, even before you make a decision, even before you apply your insights, to start adding certain habits into your daily routines that bring you closer to your desires. Even if it's very small things. I don't know exactly what your desires are or what you're trying to create, but there are small things you could be doing, small things that you can start adapting into your routine. Even before you quit your job, even before you apply to something else, there are still small changes that can be made. Okay. Where are we next? Oh, welcome, by the way, Abdul. Welcome to the chat. I will think about it. Fantastic. I hope that it brings you to a constructive outcome, you know, conclusion that you can actually apply, something that's applicable that you can actually like do to make a positive change. And you're welcome, and thank you. Where are we now? After midnight, who was next in the queue? Who is in the queue? Who is in the queue? Sukmani! Sukmani, are you here? Sukmani. After Sukmani would be Dipshika. Dipshika. After Dipshika would be AES. Is it me? Is it me? Bharti Galot. Payush. Tangsali. So I'm giving out the names in order. On Twitch, the queue is A New Tomorrow and then Braineb. Thank you. So Deepshika is here. Piyush is here. Piyush. Manmad, you are in the queue. Don't stress. Don't stress. We're in the queue. I haven't seen you yet. Yes, of course, Abdul, I've added you to the list. Are you streaming in YouTube? Yes, Brennan, I am streaming on YouTube and on Twitch simultaneously. I know a lot of people don't like it, some people do like it, but it works really well for me. Sometimes Twitch gets really slow and no one views and no one chats, and then YouTube compensates, and sometimes it's vice versa. YouTube gets slow and quiet and then Twitch compensates, so it's a unique advantage, I feel. Also, YouTube grows faster than Twitch. I've grown much faster on Twitch than on YouTube than on Twitch. Welcome, Suaveway. Suaveway, welcome. Okay, so Deepshika is next, because Deepshika is the first one to respond out of the names that I called. But I'll call them again. Sukmani, AES. Sukmani and AES. How many views? In total, we've got 11 viewers at the moment across both platforms. That number goes up and down. Sometimes there's 11 on Twitch alone. Sometimes there's 11 on YouTube alone. Okay, so AES is here. Maya Barnes, please can I have a general reading? Of course. So Suaveway and Maya, you guys are in the queue. Thank you. So AES is first, and then Deepshika is after AES. So AES, you can give me your question at this point, so that I can read for you. I can read the symbols in the cards, in the thought deck. Can lay them out. Laying out the cards for AES. Jasmine Dorga says, what number am I on? Thank you for the follow, Braneb. Thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciation. I dealt with a guy. Name is SL. Even though I blocked him, he keeps calling me every day since December till now. We had physical relations before. What does he really want from me? Ooh, stalker vibes. Stalker vibes. Number 7 of the trumps. It's the Chariot in reverse. Number 7 is about decisions, and it being in reverse is like being unable to make the decision, or being afraid to make the decision, or doubting the decision that's already been made, or changing your decision after you've already made it. And I feel like that's talking about you. It's like you should, if you blocked him, you should like keep it consistent. Block him everywhere. Block every number. Block him on every social media platform. cut ties with him. Put him in the freezer. Make a voodoo doll of him and put him in the freezer with some vinegar. Get him out of your life. If you've made that decision to cut him out, you keep that boundary firm. You don't let him back in, no matter how hard he tries. 2 of Cups in the present. 2 of Cups. 2 is about potential for abundance and fulfillment. And Cups is all about emotions and creativity. So this card is saying to you there is potential for abundant emotional fulfillment if you can learn to love yourself, if you can give yourself that nourishment, give yourself that recognition. So the reason you keep letting him back in and others like him is because you feel like you need validation from the outside. You're looking for fulfillment from someone else. You want someone else to tell you you're pretty, or someone else to tell you you're doing well. But you can tell yourself those things. You can give yourself that recognition. Be like, yes, I know I'm pretty, and that's all that matters. I don't care if that person thinks I'm pretty or if that person thinks I'm ugly. I know the truth is that I'm beautiful. I know the truth and that I'm smart. I don't need that person to recognize me and say, yeah, you are an intelligent individual. You can give yourself that recognition. You can give yourself that validation and love. You can appreciate yourself first, and you must. And it is what you are doing. The card is the right way around. It's like you're learning that process. That's why you got out of that relationship. That's why you cut him out. That's why you blocked him. And we've got the universe in the position of the future. So the universe card is like as above, so below, as within, so without. It's like anything you can visualize, you can create. The card in reverse tells me that you get distracted by your own shadow aspects. Like, here's an example from my own life. I want to write an article. It's time to write a 700-word article, so I get the laptop out. And then I spend the whole day scrolling through social media instead of writing, because I got distracted. I opened up the laptop and I saw I had notifications on Facebook, so I ended up scrolling all day instead of writing. So that's kind of what the universe card in reverse is. It's like you have this idea on what you want to do and what you want to create, and then you take action to do it, but you get distracted by this guy who phones you, or you get distracted by this or that, and it keeps you away from what you were actually planning to do. So this card says to you, every time that happens, every time you take action and then you get distracted, notice it, observe it. So in that example with social media and the laptop, I notice it and observe it. So next time I change it. I do something different. I'll be like, okay, well, if social media distracted me on this laptop, then I need to get rid of social media from this laptop. That kind of thing. Like if he's calling you and it distracts you from your own mission, you go onto your phone and you see a message from him, get rid of him. Get rid of him so that he can't distract you anymore. Just like in my example, I got rid of social media from my laptop so that I could write. That's what this card is all about. It's like learning to dance with those parts of yourself that keep you away from your goals and your dreams. I have to go, dearest. See you later. Thank you so much, Sarah, for modding the chat and all of your support and encouraging other people to like and subscribe and donate, and keeping the spam to a minimum. Thank you so much. Much appreciation. I will see you again. Bye bye. Dorothy Collins, thank you for the sub, and I'll add you to the queue. So Deepshika is next. So Deepshika, you can give me a question if you have one. Whoop, 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 whoop. Where are we? Where is the person? What is it? Deepshika, where are you? Deepshika, are you here in the chat? Can I read for you? Okay, I'm gonna call out the names now and see who's here. Okay, Deepshika's here. Thank you so much for your patience and endurance and for sticking around. You can give me your question at this point. And AES Blessings, blessed, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so glad it makes sense. I'm glad it gives you something to think about and some things you can do and change. And looking forward to seeing you again. And thanks for joining us. I know it's not your first time. I recognize your name. I know you're a long time subscriber and supporter. I see you. I see you. Okay, Deepshika. I want to know if Siddhartha blocked me on WhatsApp. or if he's just having internet trouble. Any contact from him soon? I think he does miss or think about me. Maybe he is confused. Okay, let's see what the spirits say. Hello, Sharmila. Hello, Sharmila. Welcome in. Please like and subscribe. First time viewer, just ask a question to join the queue. Paulo Rodriguez, how the fuck do you know what Siddharth is thinking? How do you know if he's confused or not? I get confused, you get confused. Please don't project. Please don't project. I'm the one who does all the projecting.
Who's projecting? Just
people. Just viewers.
So you're not talking to my subconscious.
I am talking to your subconscious.
Oh my god. Living with a witch. Ah!
Is that okay, says Jasmine? Don't spam, please post only once. Fantastic, thank you for letting us know. Shamila, yeah, you just ask your question just once and it's all that you need, you know? Once is enough. And you will be added to the queue. Okay, so I'm turning these cards over for you now. Deep Shika. We've got a 7 of Swords. Okay, 7 of Swords. And the Fool, and we've got number 7, the Chariots. Okay, I'm going to ask the Pendulum. Did Siddharth block Deepshika? Yes. Pendulum says yes. Pendulum rotates anti-clockwise. Pendulum says he might unblock you sometime soon. Pendulum says to you, mind your behavior, because maybe you sent him messages, maybe you spammed him with messages, maybe you sent him messages and you didn't give him time to respond, or maybe you got angry with him because he took too long to respond. So this is the reasons. You know, there are things that you did and said that contributed to him blocking you. Like maybe you were putting your own negative energy onto him and he got tired of that and he needed to create some space or some distance. What are these cards saying? Okay, so 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords. Seven of Swords says that he's studying, that he's learning. He's at school of some kind. He's learning about something, studying something. So he's trying to focus on that, and other things are distracting, and you won't allow distractions. Like literally there's one sword facing 6 swords. So like you and other people and relationships, parents, friends are all the other swords, and his plan to study is that main sword. And so like he's like, I will not let anything distract me. I will not let anything keep me away from my goal and my studies. That's his main priority. Everything else comes second. The Fool. Jasmine says, I'm gonna go now and take a nap, but I will watch the recording, so please don't skip me. Okay, cool. I got you. The Fool, the Fool, the Fool. This is about starting new journeys, starting new relationships, new karmic cycles. New karmic cycles. How does this apply? So it's like, it's saying that he is trying to start a new cycle. Like in the past he has entertained people who would distract him. He's entertained people who didn't respect his boundaries. He has entertained people who are needy, and like he's decided that that's over. He's done with that. If somebody is needy, block. If someone is rude, block. If someone is distracting, block. And yeah, this is a healthy thing for him. So maybe, I feel like this card is saying to you, Dipshika, that you can learn from his example. What's that? The Astone Magi? Astone Tarot and Magic just subscribed. Thank you so much for the subscription. And welcome in, welcome in. you can join for a reading if you like. But this card is saying to you can learn from his example, Dipshika. Like he's setting himself in a new direction of healthier living, healthier relationships, healthier lifestyle. So you can learn from that example, and you can do the same. Like ask yourself, what is wrong with the way that you guys have been interacting? There's probably some codependency there. Like what is it about the relationship you had with him that has caused this change, this shift? Because you can learn from it. The Chariot in the future. Yes, Manad, it is very scary. It's very scary. But there are ways to block. You know, you can learn ways to shield yourself from psychic invasion. And also, you know, you can also trust that people are not trying to pry into your thoughts and your mind. Because I don't do that, you know. I don't deliberately pry into people's thoughts unless they are asking me to. So Dipshika number 7. Number 7 of the Chariot is the Chariot. It's of the trumps. This card, it's talking about decisions that you've made. Like you've already made decisions. You've spent a lot of time contemplating what your options are when it comes to this relationship with Siddharth. All the different reasons why he might have blocked you. And other people as well. Other people you might be having interest in, or you might have wanted to be in a relationship with. This card is saying you've been contemplating all of these ideas, all these possibilities, and it's time for you now to choose what's best for you. Are you going to sit around and wait for Siddharth? Are you going to get upset about it, or are you going to learn from it and, you know, move on? Maybe he will unblock you someday, but for right now, he needs to focus on himself. Maybe you need to focus on yourself as well. That card also says to you, once you make decisions, like if you decide you're going to move on and you're going to work on yourself, you commit to it. You start swimming across a lake. You're like, self-development, self-appreciation, self-recognition is on the other side of that lake, and that's what I want, so I'm going to swim. So you start swimming and you get halfway and the ducks are yelling, what are you doing here? Go back. You made a mistake. Go back. Are you going to listen to the ducks? Are you going to swim all the way back even though you're already halfway there? So then it's a strange analogy, sure, but the card is saying once you make a decision, commit to the outcome, because if you change your mind, you can you end up losing out on all of the progress that you made towards that outcome. A Stone Tarot and Magic says, I can't read for myself, so hoping you can. What's the deal with my partner Nick? What is his issue lately? What do I need to know? My name is Anna. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. I can most definitely do that reading for you. We do have a queue, so I go through the queue in order. We'll get to you. Who's next in the queue? Abdul, I haven't got to you yet. You're still on the list. I just finished reading for Dipshiki. Just finished reading for Dipshiki, and Bharti Galot was next, so I'm going to read the names again. Bharti Galot and Payush, or Payush Tangsale. And you're most welcome, Dipshiki, most welcome. Payush Tangsale, Bharti Galot, amazing. So Payush is still here. I'm going to read for you next. I said you have a question, but I don't see your question in the chat. So you can go ahead and give me a question and I'll read for you. We're going to ask Mama. Or did Mama just leave? Yeah, it looks like Mama left. Okay. We only got Papa. Mama left the room. This is Papa. The other deck I was reading from is Mama. Mama's gone to go read for someone else. What's coming into my love life? I'm single, recently gone through a lot of heartbreak when crush started dating, so what's up for me? Okay, I feel that frequency. It's difficult. So in the meantime, I just want to ask a stone, tarot, and magic, what is it that prevents you from reading for yourself? What is that blockage? Looking into it, maybe even take a moment to meditate and go into the center of your being and see that door. Behind that door is your ability to read for yourself, and then imagine opening that door, just as a symbolic gesture of giving yourself permission to develop the ability to read for yourself. I mean, I'm still going to read for you one way or another, just out of interest. Okay, putting the cards down for Payush, sorry about the buffering, guys. It will stabilize. 8 of Discs. 8 of Discs talks to me about making changes to the way that you've been doing things when it comes to a relationship. Like you just sat around and you watched your crush. You didn't express yourself, say, hey, I'm crushing on you, I like you. Hey, I just met you, but this is crazy. But here's my number, so call me maybe. You didn't express yourself, so you were waiting in the shadows hoping that they would notice you, and they started dating someone else and that hurt you. That's what this 8 of Discs is saying. It's like you need to make some changes to the way you interact with your feelings and the people you have feelings for, because currently there's no balance. If you go through this again, you form a crush on someone and you just wait and wait and wait, you're going to end up with that same heartache, and you're just going to keep on going through that process. So you have to make a change to the way you approach it. K Grant, welcome K Grant. There is a list. You just let me know you want a reading and I add you to the list, and I scroll through the chat and I get to you in order, and I read first come first serve, basically. First question gets the first answer. Okay, so that was 8 of Discs. And I just twist the narrative of myself. Been reading 31 years and I'm just too close to it, I guess. That's very interesting because I don't have that issue when I read for myself. So once again, I encourage you to go into the inner being, like in a meditation, and open that door. Give yourself permission to read clearly for yourself. Maybe not even with tarot, maybe with runes, or maybe with scrying, crystal ball. Just giving yourself permission, doing like a symbolic meditation of giving yourself permission. 9 of Wands in reverse. You're gonna have that song stuck in your head now. Sorry about that. 9 of Wands for Payash. This is saying 9 is all about self-reflection, looking at yourself to see where you've done well, seeing where you've done badly, and the point of that self-reflection is in order to avoid your own mistakes and to repeat your own successes. Wands is all about your desires, your passions, your intentions. So what are we looking at here? It's telling me that in the present you are reflecting on your intentions, on your desires, and what you've done towards them. What you've done, like you've got intentions, how have you acted on it? Were you able to manifest your intentions? Were you able to, what did you do that sabotaged your outcome? What did you do that helped you get there? You're reflecting on all of that now as you're going through this heartache. You're asking yourself, okay, what could I have done better? What did I do well, and what could I have done better, and what did I do poorly? You want to avoid all of these things going on into the future. I see you're talking about still interacting with the date, the one that your crush is dating. It's like best friend vibes. That's very difficult. I'm sorry that you're in that situation. I feel like this card wants you to recognize where the boundary is, because it's one thing to be friends with your crush and your crush and his partner. That hurts, it creates heartache, it creates jealousy. It's important to communicate those things if you're feeling them, like especially if you're friends with your crush and his partner. It's important that you communicate how you feel. And also, if they keep coming to you for advice about the other one, that's not okay. You got to set a boundary there, because that will not help you feel better. That will only help you feel worse. Yeah. Amazing. A Stone Tarot and Magic has sent a tip. Thank you so much for your support. Much appreciation. That is a priority tip, so that skips you to the top of the queue. And yeah, so let me finish this reading and then I'll do yours for you. By the way, guys, everything you're sending me is helping me get better tech. There's like a horrible sound in the background, and that is this laptop. It's got a faulty fan, and yeah. If I have double cameras, you know, I could have one camera on the cards and one camera on the face, and we can evolve, we can do better. 5 of Swords is in the future for you, and this is still for Payush. Payush, this card says to you that as long as it's the 5 of Swords, so 5 is about doing the best that you can, applying yourself to the best of your ability, to the best of your knowledge and your understanding. And Swords is about your own ideas, your own goals, your own purpose. It says what you should be doing is focusing on yourself, your own growth, your own goals, your own education, doing the best that you can. And when you're doing that, you're going to make friends with other people who are doing the same, you know, applying themselves to the best of their abilities. And it's like, you're going to attract others who do the same. And it's among those people that you will find your relationships. And yeah, you will attract people who are like-minded, and out of those people someone will get closer naturally, and you will get intimate with them. And so you asked me, do I see relationships for you? That's where I see it. When you are doing the best that you can and focusing on yourself, you're going to find other people who are doing the same, and that's where your love life solution is. You're pursuing masters. Bingo. So pursue it. Pursue it. Do you. And while you're doing you, you will attract other people who are doing them, and that's where you will find it. That's where you will find love. I can read about anything else other than love stuff. I do in fact need to meditate more. This is true. So bingo. I keep hearing you saying to yourself, like, sorry if this is triggering, but I keep hearing you saying, I can do this, but not that. You are placing the limit. You are believing in that limit. And so that's why I'm encouraging you to open that door, to symbolically visualize opening that door, giving yourself permission to break that limitation. Maybe you can't break it today. Maybe you can't break it tomorrow. Maybe it is a real limit for you. It is. You know, if I believe I can't do something, it's a real fucking limit. But if I start by giving myself permission to break that limit, by doing a visualization exercise, by doing a symbolic ritual, I give myself permission to break that limit. It doesn't happen immediately, but with time I do find that that limit is something of the past. So excuse me if that is a bit triggering, but yeah, sorry not sorry. Reading for you now. You can give me your question and I will do a 6-card spread for you. Pull a 6-card spread. I've only been doing this for like 4 years, 5 years, not 30 years. You have way many years of experience on me. But thank you so much for trusting me with your reading today. Who is next? A Stone Tarot and Magic is next. A Stone Tarot and Magic gets a gets priority because we got this tip system in place. If you tip more than $9, you get pushed to the top of the queue and you get 6 cards. Oh my god, you just made me realize as a teacher, I tell my students this all the time. I feel so silly. Yeah, sometimes we need someone else to remind us of our own advice, isn't it? But anyway, I'm going to lay your spread now. Okay, there it is. There's your question. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got about, crossing, conscious mind, conscious thoughts, unconscious process, past interval, things that are closing, future interval, that which is open. Okay, what is the deal with my boyfriend Nick? He's acting weird and I'm worried. There is something I don't know. Those vibes, I feel those vibes of anxiety and uncertainty. So here in the present I've got number 9, the Hierophant. So the first thing that pops out to me with this Hierophant is that both of you are doing the same thing to the other. Both of you are going into like this isolation period. And this is not physical isolation, you're still in the same room, you're still in the same house, but it's like you're living past each other, you're both very much in your own thoughts, in your own process, because he says things that trigger you, and you say things that trigger him, you know, and these are past things, fears, issues, traumas from the past that are not even present where you are currently, and you guys know that, you know these feelings and these triggers are irrational, so you're isolating yourselves emotionally and mentally so you can deal with those things, so you can follow those routes, find out what is it that's causing this, what is it that's doing this to me, why am I feeling this way, what is this memory that's coming up, you know, you want to go back to those memories and integrate, tell yourself, hey, tell the past self, hey, in the present, what you're afraid of is not real. In the present, you are not subject to that same abuse or that same trauma that is coming up in the trigger. So both of you are doing this, and neither of you is communicating it with the other. So what I'm feeling is like you're asking me, you're worried there's something that you don't know. There's a lot of things that you don't know about his past and his process and his triggers and his traumas, and the same applies to you. Neither of you is really talking about it. You're just going into this process, and that's good. You know, you're dealing with your shit. It's good. You could make him feel better and make him feel more secure if you talk to him about your process, and he could make you feel better if he talks to you about his process, but you know you're the diviner, you're the spiritual practitioner, you're the one who needs to set the example. If you set the example, he will follow suit. I know, because that's how it works in my relationship. I'm the, you know, the senior mystic, so I'm usually the one who sets the example in how we communicate. Sure, my partner does it. A lot of the time she will set the example, but for the most part that is my responsibility. So let's look at what's crossing the present. We've got a 3 of discs crossing the present. I know a lot of people will say that the crossing card is an obstacle or something that is like a hindrance in the present. I don't see it that way. I feel like it's something that is affecting the present, something that's making the present look the way it is. So 3 of discs, this is like, it's talking to me about sexual boundaries, it's talking to me about financial income, physical security, like financial responsibilities. It's talking to me about health and diet. So it's like you realizing the things that you like in bed and the things that you don't like in bed, and him the same. It's you realizing what aspects of the financial responsibilities you can fulfill and what you can't, and the same for him. It's you realizing what level, like what kind of diet you want to live. Maybe the way you have been eating is not compatible with the future you're trying to create for yourself or the person you want to be, so you're realizing what's going to be required of you in that area. Same thing with the fitness. Maybe you're deciding that you actually want this specific level of fitness, so that's going to place certain requirements on you, and certain lifestyle habits need to be adapted. So it's like you're coming to all of these realizations and you're trying to make the changes, and it's like in that process he feels like you're distancing from him, like your frequency is changing, like your level of health is intimidating him, the things that you're creating are intimidating him, and vice versa. Same thing's happening for him. He's able to fill certain responsibilities, he's able to set certain sexual boundaries, things that maybe you still need to work on, and vice versa. It's like you're bumping against each other there, and that's what's creating these triggers. That's what's sending you both into your hermit stages. But being aware of it, you know, allows you to communicate it and talk about it and express what you're doing, express what you're becoming aware of, and that can really help the other one feel more secure in their own identity. So the crossing card, yeah, it is kind of a hindrance. It's kind of explaining to us how we ended up in the present, but once you're aware of it, it's something you can turn to your advantage, like they're communicating it, talking about the changes you're making and why, and You know, if you're becoming aware that the future you're creating, the future you desire, is not aligned with the present you're in, and you need to change the present in order to accomplish that future, then to communicate about it, very important. It can really turn things around. Princess of Cups is in the conscious mind. Okay. Princess of Cups. So immediately what I'm seeing in this card is the princess is holding like a cup, and in the cup is a tortoise. So it's kind of saying to me that both of you have the tendency to like your emotional self, your emotional cup, because as we know, cups is about the emotions. It's like your emotional cup is a tortoise. There's a hard shell on the outside and it's very soft and mushy on the inside. So even though you're in this place where you're feeling this uncertainty and these anxieties, and you're getting triggers and stuff, and you feel like there are things that need to change, you're still putting on a smile, everything's fine, you know, hardened exterior, tough girl exterior. And he does the same thing, and both of you are trying to figure out ways that you can come out of your shell. That's where the conscious mind is fixated. It's like you are aware of this. It's a coping mechanism. It's a defense mechanism that you need to have in place, because there are certain thoughts, and like if you had to respond to every trigger, you would create more destruction than harmony. So you know you need to have this exterior, and you're trying to find ways that you can be vulnerable and express yourself vulnerably without creating disharmony. The card is the right way around. If it was reversed, I'd say that you are looking for excuses to stay in your shell, but it's the right way around, so it's you're looking for excuses to come out of the shell, and that's fantastic. Keep it up. Princess of Wands in the unconscious mind. So in this card, the princess is dragging around a dead tiger. The tiger is tied around her neck. The tiger is a symbol of fear, and she's dragging around this dead corpse of fear. And this is in the unconscious mind. So it's kind of saying to you, it's kind of affirming for you that a lot of these fears that you're feeling, and anxieties and uncertainties, it's dead fears. It's stuff that was valid in past relationships. It's not present right now. It's like a dead tiger right now. So you can untie it from around your neck. You can throw it away, and you can leap forward into this relationship following your intuition. Because as we know, those fears and anxieties, they like to disguise themselves as intuition, but they never are. If our intuitive nudges are based in fear or shame, we know, not intuition. Both of these are princess cards, and the princess cards are all about co-creation, working together with your partner, learning to be intimate and vulnerable. It's like letting your creative process support them and vice versa, your intuition support theirs and vice versa, bouncing off of each other, co-creating together. It's like forming foundation stones. It's like what you're going through, even though it's not necessarily the most pleasant of experiences, when you get through this is like a foundation stone, a core foundation stone in the tower of your relationship. It's like one of the stones that the relationship will rest on. It's like you're creating the foundation stones through this experience. Welcome Soha and Ishika. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us today. So here's the past interval card, and this is things that have already closed, so coming to a close. It is the Prince of Cups. He's in reverse. So the Prince of Cups, it's like Cups is about the emotion, so it's talking about all those difficult emotional experiences. It's unpleasant, it's uncomfortable, the anxiety, the fear, all of that stuff. Jealousy maybe, frustrations, whatever it is. You kind of can see what you need to change. You can kind of see, okay, if I change this behavior, or if I change that, or if I communicate here, or if I do that, I can alleviate some of this discomfort. Like you saw the solution, you had an insight, you arrived at an insight, okay, I can do these things differently to change, get out of the discomfort, but you didn't apply it. You stayed in the discomfort, waiting, enduring, hoping that if you just waited long enough, things could get better. But this card, it's showing up just to remind you that you have to meet your endurance in equal measure with your creativity. So if you can see the insight, you have to apply the creative insight, as well as being enduring and strong. But this card is coming to a close, which means that discomfort is ending, the creative solution is being applied, and what that looks like is going into the self-reflection. Geez, I wonder if that's firecrackers or gunshots. And that's the truth, eh? That's the truth. I get upset and I get triggered when my partner grows faster than me. And it's just been a practice of mine is to recognize that her success is my success. So we are competitors, sure. There is competition. That's healthy. It's only a problem when, I want to push her down because she's growing too fast. I need to recognize that her success is my success. So even if she's doing better than me, that's good. I continue to support her and push her up. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is in the future. This is what's opening up. This is how we unlock the future that we're creating, that we desire. Eight of Cups, it's talking to me about setting emotional boundaries. It's like in this card I've got many cups and only 2 of the cups are full and overflowing. So I kind of feel like there's some neediness going on here. Where am I? I'm in the Republic of South Africa. I'm on a farm in farmlands, but it's firecrackers. And it is very loud, yeah. It's talking to me about neediness, of feeling like you need the other partner's validation or the other partner's recognition, and then getting, I don't know, passive aggressive if you don't get it, or if it doesn't look the way you want it to, or if the attention isn't as much as usual, or if they're focusing on work. Like I will spend the evening doing video editing, and that might trigger my partner, and then she gets all silent treatment, starts giving me silent treatment. Now that's just examples. So this card is like setting the boundary. In that example, I would say to her, listen, there are many times where you spend the whole evening working, and I don't respond in a passive aggressive way. I let you be you. I occupy myself. I don't come and try and demand your attention or distract you from your work. I let you be. So please allow me the same thing, setting that boundary, saying I need that same kind of respect in that same kind of space. The card is saying to me that it's a learning process. Both of you are going through a learning process, learning how to work together in business, learning how to let go of your old traumas, learning how to apply your creative insights, learning how to self-isolate while still being in a relationship. You're still learning all of this stuff. So as you go along, you learn about boundaries that you had or where they weren't, and you got to place them, set them down. Because there's the future that you're creating there's a certain kind of character that lives that dream. Both of you. There's a certain kind of character, and neither of you is that character yet. You're both making the changes little bit by little bit, cutting out old bad habits, adapting new good habits that bring you closer and closer to that character that lives your dreams. So, the emotional boundaries, setting those boundaries with yourself, first and foremost, and then with the other, on both sides, that's part of that process. So I feel all in all, the tarot is saying to you, communicate what you're going through so that he can communicate what he's going through. Because what you're uncertain about, it's stuff from his past. It's not stuff that's in the present. It's not like he's looking at this girl or he's texting that woman. It's like he's dealing with shit from his past. And yeah. And I'm really glad to hear that the reading resonates and it, helps you make sense of what's going on and gives you clarity. And thank you for joining me. Thanks for the subscribe and the donation. A lot of appreciation to you. And I hope that I'll see you again soon. Insanely on point, best reading I've had in years. Thank you so much. We both just need to chill out and keep our eyes on the prize. Bingo. Bingo. And yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can bounce through into your channel quickly, because if I don't do it while you're in the chat, then it's not so easy to find the folks. I'm gonna see if I can join. Holy shit, I've got thank you guys, so many subscriptions today. We went from 177 subscribers to 189 subscribers. My voice is too low, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sometimes I start speaking really slowly. And what's that? The Wallet Bullet. Welcome and thank you for the follow. Much appreciation. Okay, so I'm getting into my live stream chat on YouTube so I can give AS Stone Tarot and Magic a follow, subscribe. I'm so new on here, thank you. I'm looking for a reading. Okay, well you can jump in the queue there. Wallet Bullets. The queue is pretty long at this point, but I'm still going to be reading for another hour, doing readings for another hour. But if you want to jump to the top of the queue, you can do that with a $9 tip or more, just like A Stone Tarot and Magic got prioritized due to the donation. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah, I'm just giving A Stone a subscribe. Oh, look at you, you got 36 subscribers, well done. Subscribe. Notifications. Personalized notifications. That's, you know, just letting me know that you want a reading is enough to join the queue on it. I disabled the bots because they were creating confusion. Sometimes they would, you know, sometimes people would type !join and it would work, sometimes it wouldn't work. So I disabled it until I can find a better bot. Dora, welcome. Welcome in. I've added you to the queue. You're most welcome, A Stone, and thank you. Thank you. Okay. Who was next on the queue? A New Tomorrow was next on the queue. A New Tomorrow is on Twitch. Are you still here, A New Tomorrow? Ishika, I added you way back when you joined. Thank you. And yeah, so you are in the queue. Next up is A New Tomorrow. If A New Tomorrow is still here. Amazing, you are so patient. Thank you for your patience. Do you see me finding my soulmate this year, and how? So just by the way, A New Tomorrow, I'm very much a firm pessimist. No, I'm joking. Skeptic. I don't think that like soulmates are real. I think it's stories, twin flames stories, the Bible stories, the Quran stories. You know, it's all of that stuff. It's all on the same category of mystic stories and mysticism and mythology. And there are things that we can learn about it, like the idea of soulmates can teach us about friendships and how friendships should work and should look. Karmic partners, it's like when we see things in people that we don't like, it can teach us something about ourselves. And twin flames, that kind of teaches us how a relationship with lovers should be. You know, if you're in a relationship, like a sexual relationship, that's like it's just there to give us lessons, really, just like Bible stories and all that. Because anyone that you meet can be your life partner, can be your soulmate, can be your twin flame, whatever, can be that level of intimacy. It's not one person or a group of people, it's anyone that you choose to commit to. Abdul says, please can you share the next 5 on the list? Okay, I will drop these cards down for A New Tomorrow, and then I will do that. Okay, so A New Tomorrow. Manan Mod. Manan Mod is after A New Tomorrow. Jasmine Dorga is after Manan Mod. Then Braneb. And then Abdul. Okay. Is that 5? It doesn't matter. I'm going to read now for a new tomorrow. So I've got a 6 of discs, first card, in reverse. Knight of Wands, also in reverse. This is in the present. And 3 of Wands, also in the future. So all of these cards are reversed now. What I've noticed about reverse cards is that they just mean you're missing out on the full potential that is available there. Like 6 of discs, 6 is all about relationships. And so 6 of discs in reverse is saying that you're missing out on the full potential of that relationship. And you can only move, you can only move into cards the right way around if you turn one around. So like this Knight of Wands in the present, you can turn that one around because it's in your present. That will move you into the future that is the right way around. But here we go. Will a new tomorrow find healthy, long-lasting relationship this year? Oh dear, pendulum says no. But there is also a clockwise rotation which says to you, don't give up hope, because you will be in a relationship this year. It may not be the most healthy or the most perfect, but it will teach you and it will evolve you and it will help you get closer to a healthy and long-lasting relationship. And though you might not find your life partner or your soulmate, whatever you want to call it, this year, it is still going to happen. You are going to get there. So 6 of discs, as I'm saying, is about relationship. It's about physical relationship. Overcoming your limitations, evolving through relationships. So you've been doing the best that you can with your physical world, with your level of finances, fitness and health. You've been doing the best that you can there with what you know and what you have at your disposal, working on your career, working on your job, whatever. And then interacting with new people, making new connections, talking to old connections, learning from them and them learning from you, getting access to new resources, learning new methods for dieting, learning new strategies for finances, and that sort of thing. But this is coming to a close, so this period of evolution is already happening. It's already happened. It's in reverse, so it's saying that it wasn't easy to acknowledge. When you felt like you were doing the best that you could, and then learning from your friends that they have better methods or other alternatives for health, for diet, for fitness, for exercise, for finance, it was kind of intimidating, like, oh, I thought I was doing so well, feeling intimidated by them. But the truth is, they were feeling intimidated by you too. You had a piece of the puzzle, they had a piece of the puzzle, and you were exchanging pieces of the puzzle. That's what was happening there. Cupcake, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. I am doing free readings. You're welcome to join the queue. I offer 1 free reading per viewer, and then you're welcome to join the queue for a second time. If you send a tip of any size, you can get a 6-card reading if you send a tip of $9 or more. That'll also skip the queue. It'll put you to the top of the queue if you send $9 or more. Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands in the present for you and you tomorrow. This one is like, okay, so you have passions, right? You have desires, you have a career, you have a job, you're working on a journey. But when you started this journey, you had certain intentions, certain selfish intentions, certain selfless intentions, certain desires, certain passions. And you've been on this journey for so long now that those initial intentions and those initial desires no longer feature. Like, you've grown up a little bit and you realize that what you wanted back then was childish desires, what you intended was childish intentions. So you almost feel like you need to, like, what you're doing isn't worth doing anymore because you no longer want the things that you wanted. But this card says to you, you don't have to throw it all away. You don't have to throw away the progress you've made. You can just change it. You can adapt it to your new intentions. If you can identify what your new desires are, what your heart really is called towards, you can adapt all of the efforts that you've made, and whatever this project is that you've been working on, you can adapt it to align with your new intentions and your new desires. My bots don't really work, Cupcake, so I disabled them. They were creating more confusion than anything else, so I disabled him. We can divine into Chris's intentions as far as you are concerned, sure. Three of Wands in reverse. This is feeling hopeless. This is feelings of hopelessness towards having a good relationship or a long-standing relationship. It's saying that that's going to come for you. That's going to come up for you a lot. It's the feeling of hopelessness, like you're never going to find the right man or the right partner or that soulmate or the twin flame. Like it's not in the cards for you. But this card, it first of all wants to encourage you, saying that that's not true, you know. Those feelings are going to come and they are valid and you should express them. You should allow them to be felt, express them, channel them into creative action, because they're going to come and they are valid. But it's not the truth. There is hope. You will find that kind of relationship. While you are manifesting your own desires and your own dreams and working towards your own future and your own outcomes, when you are doing that, you attract other people who are on the same frequency, and it's among those people that you will find soulmates or a long-standing healthy relationship. Think of it like this. You're in a corridor, right? And there are many doors that go off of the corridor. Those are possible futures. When you're in the corridor, you're contemplating all of these possible futures, all these possible outcomes, things you desire, things you want to create. Behind each door is a group of people who are following their own dreams within that same. So if one door goes to being a musician, one door goes towards being a government, like running for office in the government. Behind the door being a musician, you encounter other people, like say you went for that possible future. There are other musicians who become very close friends who help you accomplish your goal of being a musician. And one of those friends ends up as a partner. That's if we go into that future. If we go into office, again, you're going to encounter people who support you and help you get to where you're going. Those are friends. And one of them stands out and becomes a partner long term. So as long as you step through one of these doors, as long as you choose one of these possible outcomes and you commit to it, you will find other people who support you. Those are soulmates, those are friends. And one of them is going to be the twin flame or the life partner. You know, the one who you end up in a relationship with. So that's a new tomorrow's reading. Manan says, you are really helping me with my Saturn. So what does that mean? That I'm teaching you about patience and structure and order, lists? You're welcome, New Tomorrow. You're welcome. Does someone of my class have a crush on me? And just a general reading. Okay. It's getting fucking hot in here. 5 of discs, 8 of wands, 3 of wands, so that's the 5 of discs in reverse, first card, 8 of wands, second card, 3 of wands, third card. And thank you, New Tomorrow, thank you for being here with us today. Okay, so this is a generalized reading. 5 of discs. That card talks to me about spending a lot of time stressing. Stressing about, does this person like me? Does that person like me? Does this person not like me? So on and so forth. Are they going to be a good partner? Am I a good partner? Getting ready for school, putting on makeup, putting on your outfit, worrying about whether you're going to be seen and approved of. It says just be yourself, do the best that you can and be yourself, because the person that is worth being with sees you for who you are and appreciates you for who you are, not for who you're trying to be, but for who you are truly. So just do the best that you can and be yourself. Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands says there's a specific kind of person who lives your dreams and your desires. So what do you desire? You desire that kind of person, that kind of partner, you desire that kind of life. You want to do this with your life, you want to be, I don't know, an accountant, you want to be an astronaut. What you desire from life, there's a specific kind of person who lives what you desire. And where you should be focusing your time and attention is taking subjects that will help you accomplish that. Setting study routines that will help you accomplish that, that will help you step into that person, into that desire. Of course, you can change your question, Maya. What else is this Eight of Wands saying? It's saying that if you're going to form relationships with people in your class and at your institution of education, that relationship needs to be aligned with your desires and what you're creating with your future. Because there are certain kinds of people who will distract you and take you backwards, and there are certain kinds of people who will support you and help you grow. So discernment, having discernment, like not just accepting any old guy who says, oh, I like you, I've got a crush on you, you know? Being discerning about their character and whether that character is going to help you get through school or if it's going to slow you down. Three of Wands. Again, this emphasizes on becoming aware of what it's going to take to accomplish your own desires. Like, why are you at school? What are you learning about? What do you want to create with your life? Becoming aware of what it's going to take, how much dedication it's going to take, how much responsibility, how much commitment it's going to take, and then, you know, committing to do that in order to create that future, committing to become the person you need to be in order to have the future that you desire, even if that means cutting out certain relationships or pushing certain people away. Committing to it, even if that means that you go through your whole schooling career single. And then, you know, to answer your question, yes, someone in your class does have a crush on you, maybe even more than one person, but that doesn't matter. Don't worry about it too much, don't focus on it too much. Focus on you and your dreams and your desires. Welcome, Boshra. What's next for me in love or new? Past love or new? You're welcome, Manan. Next in the queue is Braneb. Braneb 2020 on Twitch. Are you here? After Braneb is Abdul. Abdul on YouTube. Waiting for Braneb or Abdul to confirm if they are here. Abdul is here. Fantastic. Hope that you will be on your stream again sometime soon. So pretty much, guys, I stream every day. I don't do tarot readings every day, but I stream pretty much every day. Except Saturdays. I don't stream on a Saturday. Future of my startup. Cupcake, you are like one of the most recent to join the queue, so there's a lot of names on the list still between where we are now and where you are. But like Braneb has left, so you know, certain people leave, that makes the queue shorter. Yeah. So Abdul is next. I'm just trying to get to where we were. this is where we were. So Maya, I'm going to read out the names in the order. We've got Abdul, who's next, and then Maya. No, sorry, not Maya. Swave, Suave Wave, and then Maya. So Abdul, Suave Wave, Maya. Jasmine Dorga. Thank you for letting me know, Midnight. Then Shivi. And then Sharmila. And then Polo. And then Kay Grant. Soha Khan, Ishika, Wallet Bullets, but apparently Wallet Bullet has left. Dora Mahoud, Dorothy Collins, and then Cupcake. And then Boshra. Okay. Thank you for your patience, guys, those of you who have stuck around. So anyone, those who don't respond when I call them out, I'm skipping past. But Cupcake, please hit, actually, you are already, aren't you already a follower? I'm sure I know your Cupcake For You name, it's been here before. It's been in the queue before. But if you haven't already followed, please follow. Like I was saying earlier, I stream pretty much every day. I don't do tarot every day, but I'm here just about every day, 6 days a week, basically. Thank you for the follow. So even if you don't get your reading today, you will be able to get a reading sometime. I do provide, readings privately, private services, and you can skip the queue with a tip. Yeah, I saw the follow come through. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for following me. I'm going back up to the top where I was in the queue. Abdul. Okay, so Abdul, your question was something like future startup. Yeah. Are we talking about like the startup of a future? Hey Jeff Chang, welcome in. So yeah, I'm only going to be online for like 30 more minutes. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a reading for you today, but please drop your question anyway and subscribe. If you don't get your reading today, you can get it another time. You can skip the queue by sending $9 or more as a tip. Also, I do provide the services offline, privately. And Midnight, to answer your question, the only time, yeah, if you buy a private reading, it doesn't count towards a goal. But if you are sending tips during the stream, whether it's to skip the queue or not, it counts towards that goal. That money is going towards laptop and camera. So you can find all of my social links in the description, Jeff. You can hit me up on Discord or Facebook or Twitter, wherever you're comfortable. Instagram. Thank you for following, Specky, and welcome. Okay, so start up. I think we're talking about a business. So this is Abdul's startup business reading. future of his startup business. So, Specky, I've been streaming for like 2.5 hours, and I'm only going to stream for 3, but you're welcome to join. You're welcome to drop a question and join. Otherwise, you know, I'll say it again. I'll say it again. You guys can skip the queue if you want to reading right now. You can skip the queue and go to the top and get 6 cards with a $9 tip. Otherwise, you can just join the queue and wait your turn and get a free reading. I do also provide divination and mystic services and artistic services and a bunch of stuff offline, and you can get all of these things. You can talk to the bots. Exclaim links, exclamation mark links. Exclamation offering. Hello Sharmina, welcome. I'm glad to see you still here. Three of Wands. Three of Wands in reverse. This is like hopelessness. So Abdul, this is talking about your past business startups, the things you've tried to create in the past, and it's saying that there was a lack of awareness, like a lack of awareness of what is going to be required of you in order to see that business succeed. Like if you desire to see your business succeed, it places certain requirements and certain responsibilities on you, and this card is showing up to say that when you did it in the past, you weren't fully aware of what it would take to succeed with that business. So this time, if you want success, become aware of what that's going to take, what success is going to take, what it's going to require, what responsibility, what level of responsibility that places on you. Thank you so much for your recognition. Number 17. The Star in reverse. So Abdul, this card is talking about overwhelm. It's saying that you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed right now by all those responsibilities and all of those requirements that the startup business is placing on you. It encourages you to get your priorities in order. What is the most important things that you should be doing to make your business succeed, your startup? And work on it in that order. The things that are less important, you can push them to later. Cross those bridges when you get there. Focus on the things that are of highest importance, like marketing. If there are issues with your marketing, that's a priority. If customers are communicating and asking for you to do work for them, you know, getting it done, providing the service is a priority. So if there is any kind of resistance towards providing the service to your clients or customers, that's also a priority. Things like that need to be worked on immediately. Everything else can take a back seat until things are running smoothly in the priorities. Flexibility. Unforeseen events will come up that seem to get in the way of your business and make it hard for you to reach your outcomes. Being flexible, once again, as long as you can keep up with 1 or 2 priorities. The things that are lower priority, if you had to skip them for today because of unforeseen events, that's okay. And yeah, it helps you deal with. This card is just giving you some tips and pointers on how to deal with an overwhelm so that you don't feel like it's too much to carry, like your dreams and your responsibilities are too much to carry. Prince of Cups in the future. So this one is saying that you already can see the solutions that need to be applied. The overwhelm and the stress, it makes you, you know, it's uncomfortable, it's painful feelings, uncomfortable feelings. This one, it's about overcoming that. Like, you see the solution, you already know what it is. It's time to apply it. You know what it is, you've been ignoring it. You know what you can do differently that will help you get out of the discomfort, that will help make things smoother, that will help you cope with the overwhelm. You know what needs to shift, like going to bed earlier, or doing work during lunchtime, or you have ideas. You know what that insight is. You know what the solution is, but you haven't been applying it. So this card is saying you've got to apply it if you want to see success with this business venture, with the startup. You've got to apply the solution, otherwise nothing's going to change. You can't just wait and wait for things to get better. You have to apply the solution before things get better. It didn't work. What didn't work? All of those, like you typed them in, it worked. I see the links came up on screen. Exclaim offering is another one. Oh, you sent a tip and it didn't work. What? How is that? Okay, let's see. Where are we in the queue? That Streamlabs link, though, the tip link does work if you follow it, and if there's balance to be transferred, it does. Like, the link isn't faulty. I've had some people tell me, oh, my PayPal link is faulty, it doesn't work, but when I check it, it does. Okay, so who was after Abdul? That was Braneb. No, Braneb was before Abdul. Suave Wave. Maya Barnes. Here, says Maya. Okay, so Maya Barnes is next. And then I see Jasmine says over here, what number am I? But like, at what point did I skip Jasmine? Okay, I'll let you know if it comes through. But midnight, if what am I saying? If your balance, if your PayPal balance hasn't changed, if your balance hasn't changed, then mine, it won't. Nothing's gonna happen. But I'll let you know if I see anything later. It was me, says Jeff Chang. Oh, who was next? Oh no, sorry Jeff. There's a long queue. Long queue. I'm trying to see where I went wrong, because at some point I seem to have skipped Jasmine. Maya wants to know if there's anything she should be concerned about, anything she needs to know. I just want to keep up with my queue so I know who's next, but I seem to have lost my place. So I'm trying to find it again. Okay, here, this is where we were. So Maya Barnes, you're next. After you, who's after you? Dorothy Collins is after you. So Jasmine, I know you're gonna rewatch the live. You're gonna rewatch the recording. So at this point, I've decided that you have to be here in the stream to get the reading. Otherwise, it's not really fair for the people who are. Like Maya's here, Jeff is here. There's a bunch of people who are here in the chat, so they will get the priority. I will read for them. If there was no one watching the stream, then maybe I would read for you, but otherwise, yeah, it has to work like that. Those who are currently watching are the ones who get the readings. Three of Wands. This card has come up so many times. Everybody's on the same frequency. This card says that you've been pretty much aware. It's like saying to you, you want to know what you need to be aware of, what you need to be concerned about. You are pretty much aware. You know, you're pretty self-aware. Like, you know what your own intentions are. You're able to like discern what other people's intentions are, and you're pretty self-aware. It's recognition, saying don't worry too much because you are pretty aware. You're very observant, self-aware, self-observant, and responsible. For better or worse, you know, if you've got negative intentions, you know that your intentions are negative. If you've got positive intentions, you know your intentions are positives. That kind of vibe. Like, you're just self-aware. Whether it's on the positive or negative side, you know. You can see yourself clearly. What you've been focusing on lately is, again, it's a recognition card. It's saying you are loving yourself. You're approving of yourself. Giving yourself attention and care, self-nourishment, looking after yourself, and that's really good. Again, not really anything that you need to be aware of because you've got it all under wraps. The things that you need to be doing, you see them and you do them, you know. Like, you don't neglect it. This card is not reversed, you know. You're not neglecting yourself. You know how to give yourself recognition and validation, and you don't look for it from an outside source. Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is something to be aware of. Queen of Cups says that sometimes you get upset or you get low because of disappointment, and you could have less disappointments if you let go of your expectations. Like, you meet people and you hear them say things and you build up expectations, or you cling, you start craving outcomes and ideas, and then when it doesn't turn out in those ways that you hoped for, that you were clinging to, or you were expecting, then you get disappointed and frustrated and miserable. So you could have less disappointments and less emotional disharmony if you had less attachments to outcomes and less expectations. And that's the only thing that you need to really bring your attention and your awareness to, because for the most part you're very self-aware. You can see yourself clearly, your own intentions, your own actions, and others you see very clearly. And like the requirements, self-love, self-recognition, you see it, you understand it, and you go for it. All in all, these cards are saying you're pretty much on top of your game. There isn't really too much to be worried about. You can improve, you can have things easier if you let go of your expectations and attachments to outcomes. And that's the only advice that these cards had for you today. It's the only advice my spirit has for you today. Our spirits. So Dorothy Collins is not here. Where are we? Sharmila Tapa, Paulo Rodriguez. Welcome, Ashika. Welcome in. Oh, Dorothy Collins is here. So Ashika, there isn't any time for me to do a reading for you today. There's too many people in the queue and I've only got 13 minutes left. course, Abdul. You're welcome. Okay, so Dorothy, you can let me know what your question was, and I will read for you. Thank you for clarifying, Cupcake. Hopefully we can still get to you today, although at this point it doesn't look likely, because a lot of the people who I thought had left the chat are actually still here. Like Dorothy Collins is still here. Thank you for your patience, Dorothy. General reading coming up. I probably only have time for one more reading after Dorothy. Six of Discs. Knight of Wands. Did I show you the Six of Discs? Here it is. Yes, of course, horse-drawn portrait. I will, I'll stay on longer for your sake. I'll go overtime to make sure you get your reading. Knight of Wands in reverse. Did I show you this one, Dorothy? Chariots. Okay, so the Six of Discs, the first card. This is feeling intimidated by the success of those around you, by the success of your partner, feeling competitive with those around you who are doing well. They've got good exercise routines, they got good diets, they making lots of money. It's kind of scary, it's intimidating, it makes you feel small and insignificant, like you're not doing enough or you're not doing good enough. But the truth is, you're doing the best that you can. Your diet is, it's as much as you can be doing. Your exercise routine, your fitness is the best that you can be doing with what you know and with what you have and what you've been taught. And your financial situation is the best that it can be. You've been doing the best that you can. So that card, it's showing up, it's saying that these people who you're feeling intimidated by, they're actually just there to teach you. You can learn how to do even better by following their examples. And you also have pieces of the puzzle that they don't have. Like, they can learn from you in certain aspects of your life, as well as as much as you're learning from them, they can learn from you. Knight of Wands in the present. Knight of Wands in the present, I feel like you're clinging to old desires, old intentions that no longer serve, old passions, old things you used to be passionate about. You don't feel passionate about them anymore. Things you used to desire that you don't desire anymore, but you feel obligated to continue pursuing them, to continue doing those things. And that's not the case. You don't have to feel obligated. You don't have to hang on to the old you. You can let the old you die, and you can let the new you be born with new desires and new passions and new intentions. You don't have to cling. You don't have to feel obligated. It's okay to grow and change and have new interests and let go of old interests. That's okay. That process is natural. Most of us, all humans, go through it. In fact, like if you get fixated on one idea your whole life, they call that monomania. It's like not normal. The Chariot, number 7. This says that even though you feel like your passions have changed and your desires have changed, and you're reluctant to, you feel obligated to continue working towards those desires and within those passions, even though it's changed. because you feel like you've invested so much time and energy into that process, like you've been swimming across a lake and you're already more than halfway, you don't want to go back to the starting point. So this number 7, the Chariot, says to you, you can change your desires and your intentions without losing your investments. You can change your projects, or you can change your career, whatever it is, you can change it. You can change it to be aligned with your new intentions and new desires. You can give birth to new desires, new passions, and you can just change what you've been doing to fit those new things. You don't have to, you don't have to choose between your old passions or your investments. You can make the new thing work with the old thing. I need an example. I feel like I need to put an example to words. So let's say that I am I want to be a famous rock star, so I start learning guitar, right? Here's the example. And then 10 years down the line, I am pretty good at playing guitar, but I no longer have any intention to be a famous rock star. That doesn't mean I need to forget about all of this effort I've invested into learning how to play guitar. I can still use that. Maybe I will use it to create background music for streamers, or maybe I will start drawing, I'll do an animated series and I'll use my guitaring to put as background tracks. Or maybe I will teach children how to play guitar. I don't have to throw away all of the energy I've invested into my outcome just because, my intentions or my desires have changed. So Sharmila is still here, so Sharmila's next. I will be live again tomorrow, Cupcake. Probably earlier than today. I'll probably, today I started streaming at 2. And stream for 3 hours. Tomorrow I will start streaming at 12 and stream for 4 or 5 hours, but I will be drawing. I will be doing art, traditional sketch art. You're welcome, Dorothy. And okay, so we're moving on now to Sharmila. Sharmila, did you give me a question? Because I see you said, may I ask a question? But I don't see the question itself. So I'm going to shuffle the cards now, and I'm going to draw your spread. So the next time I'll be doing tarot is Thursday morning, between 11 and 3, somewhere in that period. Sharmila. Okay, who is coming into your love life? What's up in Sharmila's love life? Aliha, welcome. Pardon me. So, Sharmila, I've got the death card the right way around. So this is talking to me about the end of your last relationship. Horse-drawn portrait is sent a donation. How much is that you're sending, horse-drawn portrait? $9 tip to skip the queue and get priority. Fantastic. Okay, so I've already started reading for Sharmila, so I will do your reading after I finish Sharmila's reading. Cupcake, I'm still going to do a reading for horse-drawn portrait, because horse-drawn portrait sent the tip. And yeah. Thank you so much, by the way, horse-drawn portrait, for your support. 13. So this is talking about the end of your last relationship. It's saying that there was a complete rebirth. Nothing about your life looks the same. You were in that relationship, you had certain lifestyle, routine, habits, and then the relationship ended. Nothing has been the same since then. Everything is different. The whole way you live, where you work, what time you wake up, everything about your life is different. But this is something you chose. Like, you felt like the lifestyle you were living when you were in your last relationship, it wasn't aligned with who you are. So you decided that this relationship needs to end because you need to get closer to your authentic self. So that's what has happened. Ace of Wands. So Sharmila, this Ace of Wands is saying to me that you are looking for new relationships right now. Like, you are chatting with people, men on the internet, you're going on dates, basically. You're like letting people court you. You're looking for a possible partner. So this card says to you that when you're doing that, when people express their interest in you, or when you find someone who you think could be a good match, or you meet a new guy that you think, okay, this guy's cool, communicate your intentions. Like, say to them, listen, I'm interested in a relationship. That's my intention. That's why I'm chatting to you. Otherwise I would just flip you off. I'd be like, whatever, I'll do me, you do you. But the fact that I'm entertaining this conversation implies that I have an interest. So talk about your intention there. Also talk about your desires and your boundaries. Like, okay, if I'm going into a relationship, my last relationship held me back from my dreams and my goals. So if we're gonna be if I'm going into a relationship with you, you need to be there to support my dreams and my goals. I can't be in a relationship with someone who has bad habits like sleeping late and overeating and doing nothing. I need someone who is there to be hands-on and creative and driven and motivated. So this card is about communicating your desires, communicating your intentions, all of that sort of thing. Communicating everything clearly, putting it on the table, putting all your cards on the table, basically. Eight of Discs. Okay, so Eight of Discs says that you're not going to find this relationship that you're looking for until you get balance in your own life, like your own health, your own fitness, your own finances. And that stuff is currently not quite under wraps yet. Like, maybe you're still living in debt, or it's like there's just imbalance. The amount that you're earning is not balanced with what you have to spend with your expenses. The amount of energy you take in, like the amount of food you eat, is not balanced with the amount of exercise you do. There isn't balance in your physical world yet, in every aspect of it. So it's saying that you're not going to find this relationship that you're looking for or you're intending. That part of your love life will click, it will come, as soon as you can get your physical world under wraps. When you are, moving in the right direction with your own health and your own fitness and your own career, that's when you're going to start attracting other people who are potential partners. Okay, horse-drawn portrait. Serenity of Soul, how's it? How's it going? So my queue is closed, unless you're going to send a tip. Free readings queue is closed. Horse-drawn portrait is getting a reading. I'm going overtime for horse-drawn portrait, simply because horse-drawn portrait is supporting the stream by sending a priority tip. So you can give me your question at this point, horse-drawn portrait. I'd like to know how to get myself in gear and just be more, get engaged, and what kind of emotional blocks or strengths I should look at regarding that. Okay, baby. We will see what the cards have to say. The cards don't say anything. We'll see what the spirit has to say through the cards. Hello Rashmi, welcome in. Rashmi Adav. Okay. That's your about card. General. Welcome back, Zara. New subscriber, says Rashmi Yadav. So that can't be true. That can't be true, because I saw you in the chat just the other day. The last time that I did a live tarot reading thing, which was on Thursday. You were in the chat, Rashmi. You were in the chat on Thursday. So that was the crossing card that I put there. That's the conscious mind. That's the unconscious mind. Oh, amazing. Thank you for subscribing, Rashmi. Past interval, future interval. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. The Hanged Man. He's in reverse. Okay, so this card says to me you've already seen insights. Horse-drawn portrait. You've already seen insights on what you can shift and how you can change. You know, let me scroll up a little bit so I can see your question. 24 likes! Fucking fantastic! Look at us blow up, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. Okay, looking for horse-drawn portraits comments so that I can reference specific issues that we were dealing with there. Cores, makeovers, welcome. Welcome in. It's a long way down. There it is, okay. This says that you've already seen insights, like you've already got ideas on how you can move yourself into gear. And what aspects of your emotional being are functioning as blockages, what aspects of it are blocking you or holding you back, and what aspects of it are strengths that help you move forward. You've already seen the solution, like you already have ideas, insights. There's been discomfort in your emotional being, frustration, anger, stagnation, shame, fear. All of these things have been there, and it's uncomfortable, it's painful. This card says to me you've already seen, like you already have ideas on what you can shift to get yourself out of that discomfort, and it's saying that you've got to apply it. It's like, okay, so here's a very basic example. Let's say I sit in the lotus position, right, and I meditate. And at some point during my meditation, it's becoming excruciatingly painful to sit like this. And I know I can just straighten my legs and alleviate that pain. I know the answer, but I don't. I continue to sit cross-legged. I continue to push through. I continue to push through, and I know this pain is not going to go away until I straighten my legs, but I keep on sitting cross-legged. So that's kind of what's going on here. Like you've already seen insights and ideas that have come to you, solutions, creative solutions that can help you solve your discomfort and help you make breakthroughs, but you're choosing to stay in the situation of discomfort or pain. You've chosen not to apply your solutions yet. Still contemplating. Seven of Wands is crossing that. Okay, so the Seven of Wands, this gives me a bit more insight. It's like, why? Why haven't you applied your solutions yet? Why haven't you insituated your ideas or set them rolling? So the Seven of Wands says it's because you are contemplating all the different possible ways into the future, like getting yourself in gear, getting engaged, tapping your strengths. What for? What is the point of that? Where do you want to take it? What is the outcome? What is the future you're going to work towards? So it's like you haven't yet applied your solutions, you haven't yet applied the insights that you've got, because you're still contemplating where you're going to take yourself once you have. Like if I know that I can feel better emotionally if I go to sleep earlier, but I haven't gone to sleep earlier, because like, what am I going to do if I wake up earlier in the morning? What am I going to do with myself? Poor example, but I think you understand what I mean. This card says that as long as you are contemplating all of those possibilities, none of it is going to manifest for you. If you want any of it to manifest, you're going to need to choose one of those outcomes. Open one of those doors. You're in a corridor and there are many doorways that go off of the corridor. All of those are possible futures, possible outcomes, and all of it is possible, but none of it is real for you. None of it is manifesting for you until you choose one of those doors and walk through it. That is the only time that it's going to collapse and manifest into your present. Once you choose, it says you already know how to engage yourself and get yourself in gear and push through your blockages and tap your strengths. You already know how to do that. The only reason you haven't done it is because you haven't decided on your outcome yet. Conscious mind is a Knight of Discs. So this card, the first thing that jumps out to me is the ending of various relationships, an end of various friendships and partnerships, end of possibly romantic relationships. This happened because of a move, moving from one location to another, whether that move was because you wanted to study something or because you needed a better job. It doesn't really specify. It just says that you have moved from one location to another, like whether that means that you are working in a new location or you're living in a new location, could be either. But because of that move, because of shifting physical locations, you've had to let go of certain friendships, certain partnerships, certain relationships, whether platonic or romantic. So that's very much in your conscious mind still. The repercussions of that is very much in your conscious mind. This is not past, no, this is present. It's things that you're thinking about a lot. Maybe it happened in the past, but it's things that are in your conscious mind that your conscious mind is fixating on, things that you are contemplating regularly, and it is to do with that physical move and, you know, having to lose out on certain relationships and partnerships because of that move. Now that doesn't, you know, like I said, it could mean because you've moved your work premises, or it could mean that you've moved your living premises, something along those lines, or maybe both. Considering what else is here. Thank you so much, Zara, for complimenting my voice. Smooth and calm. Thank you. So what I'm getting here, because these are all in the present, all the horizontal cards are in the present. So this is affecting your present, like the discomfort you're experiencing in the present, the feeling of stagnation, the feeling that you're unable to tap your strength, all those emotional blockages you're talking about. That emotional blockage is the loss of relationship. Now that's friendships, partnerships, you just feel the distance there. That is the emotional block you're feeling right now. A lot of the discomfort you're feeling right now is to do with this. It's to do with this being so present in your mind. And this card also wants to say to you that whatever this change is that you're going through, it is bringing you closer into alignment with who you want to be and the future you're trying to create for yourself. It's a rebirth, it's a death of the old and the birth of the new, but it's not detrimental. It's bringing you closer to who you are authentically. Ten of Discs is in your unconscious mind. So this is kind of affecting your present, your ability to make your decisions, and everything about your reality is affecting you, but not necessarily something you're conscious of. It's your unconscious mind, things that you're processing in your dream world. You know, sometimes my stomach will grumble and I'll hear it. It sounds like it's saying a sentence. That's my unconscious, that's what my mind is processing unconsciously, what I heard. Sometimes people will speak and I hear them say something I didn't say. It's again stuff that my unconscious mind is processing. The symbols I see in my dreams, stuff my unconscious mind is processing. Ten of Discs, that's completion. That's like reaping the rewards, seeing the results of the things that you've sown, like seeds that you've sown, now seeing the rewards of it. Investments you've made, seeing the returns. So I feel like it's your past experiences with investments and physical projects and, you know, setting yourself routines and diets and anything that you set in motion and you saw the results of, that is why you are sitting, that's why you're struggling to make your decisions in the present. You're struggling to choose what outcome you're creating because of past experiences when you set things in motion. Losses that you experienced and successes that you experienced. You're reluctant to make your decision because of the fear of the losses and uncertainty on how to recreate your successes. That's what's going on in your unconscious, and it's affecting your ability to choose without you even realizing it, without even realizing that that's why you're struggling to choose. And the 10 of discs, the advice it has for you is to self-reflect, to look back on other points where you had to make decisions, where you're going to invest your money or your time or your energy, or what you're going to set in motion and how that turned out. You know, you look at it and see, okay, where did I fuck up? What did I do wrong over there that created that failure or that loss? So that you can avoid it in the present. Okay, this decision that I need to make here, if I choose this option, I'm repeating that old cycle of failure. I'm opening myself up to fail. But over here, okay, I did really well at that point in my life where I set an exercise routine and I didn't push myself too hard. You know, I focused on 1% increases and I saw the results manifest. It took long, but I saw it. So, you know, reapplying that. Okay, these decisions in the present, if I make my decision according to that past experience, I'm opening myself up for success. The advice it has for you is to reflect on your failures and your successes so you can repeat your successes and you can avoid your failures, giving yourself more clarity on how to make your decisions in the present. Making your decisions building off of past success and failures. Past interval is the 3 of the trumps. It's the Empress in reverse. So this is talking about having difficult relations with women in your life. Horse-drawn portrait, I'm not sure if you are male or female. It doesn't really matter. It's saying that the feminine aspects of yourself. So if I'm taking this card as a representation of the feminine, so what does this card tell me about the feminine? It tells me that the feminine is nourishing, life-giving, offers emotional support, offers emotional abundance. The feminine is ferocious, you know, she will pick up a shield and a sword and will defend those that she loves and cares about. You know, she'll put herself on the line to defend and protect those that she loves. She also will sacrifice of herself for the sake of those that she loves and cares about, particularly those she sees as her own children. She will, you know, sacrifice of her lifeblood. She will work herself to the bone, like a single mother will work herself to the bone to make sure her children are secure and have enough to eat. So these are qualities of the feminine that are coming up in this card, and the card is in reverse. So it indicates that those aspects of your character, whether you're male or female, you know, are not really, there's scars on your heart that prevent you from standing up and defending people. There's scars on your heart that make you reluctant to provide emotional support. There are scars on your heart that prevent you from putting yourself on the line for those that you care about. You feel like you're going to be taken advantage of if you do it. And the reason that you've got these scars is because of your interactions with, you know, other women who had similar scars. Mother figure who didn't defend you when you needed her, or didn't give you the support when you needed her, or a female partner or female friends that didn't support you when you needed it, or, you know, that's what I'm getting here. Why is this card showing up? This card shows up, it says to you that you do not have to hold a grudge in order to forgive. Sorry, you do not have to hold a grudge in order to set boundaries, and forgiveness will help you heal the wounds of the heart. But forgiving doesn't mean that you're allowing people to cross your boundaries. You don't have to. Forgiveness doesn't mean an absence of boundaries. I can forgive you and still hold the boundaries. So say I got cheated on, right? But I still love the person. I can forgive them and say, I forgive you and I choose to continue loving you. I'm not going to push you out of my life because of this. But we can no longer be physically intimate. We can no longer have sexual relations. Our relationship has to change. It has to become very platonic from here on out. That's the boundary. Because if I'm sexually intimate with you, I open myself up to have you do that again. But I still love you, I still forgive you, but things have to change. So it's kind of like that. It's saying you don't have to hold a grudge to maintain a physical boundary or an emotional boundary. You can forgive and maintain boundaries. By the way, guys, I'm finished with my free readings for the day. I've gone over my time. I only planned to stream for 3 hours, and I've been here for 3 hours and 20 minutes. So this is going to be the last reading, unless you guys are prepared to tip. Yeah. Any amount will let me continue prioritizing you. $9 will get you 6 cards like this. $9 or more. And it also skips the queue. Like horse-drawn portrait, jump to the top of the queue, and got 6 cards. Queen of Swords in reverse. Do I think that's about a present partner? No, that's definitely to do with the past. It's definitely to do with your past experiences. Things that have come to a close that are actually no longer in the present. But maybe it's still affecting your relationship in the present, whereas like your partner will do something and you feel like you need to push them away and hold a grudge in order to express that that was a boundary. No, you can communicate the boundary and set the boundary and still forgive at the same time. And that's what I feel like the card is showing up to say to you. It's like you don't have to hold a grudge to maintain a boundary. That's what I feel is coming up from that card. Queen of Swords in the future. So this card says to you that whatever you're going to create, if you have an expectation on how it's going to turn out, whatever future you want to create for yourself, like you want to get yourself in gear and move through your blockages and tap your strengths, you can do that, all well and good, sure. But if you have an expectation of what that's going to look like, you're going to end up disappointed. You're going to miss out on the value. You're going to look at it and be like, oh, it wasn't good enough, or it wasn't enough because it didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen, or the way you imagined it. This Queen of Swords is warning you about expectations. It's saying you've got to let go of expectations. Set the things in motion, but don't hold on to any kind of expectation, because expectations lead to disappointments. What more this card has to say is that you've done this before. You know, you want to make an evolution right now. This is not the first time you've made an evolution. We're dealing with a hanged man here. Decisions need to be made. You need to apply solutions and insights that you have to escape the discomfort you're feeling. This is not the first time you've been here. This is not the first time you've made breakthroughs. Queen of Swords, that's what the Queen of Swords is saying to you. It's not the first time. You've already been full circle here. You've already made a full evolution. So you're in a better position to succeed this time than you were last time. Your last evolution period. You know, you learned through that whole journey. You've got all the experience from that past journey that you can apply now. All that knowledge, all that experience, you can apply it again now. You're not starting from scratch, basically. You've got all of this like mountain of experience and knowledge to back you in whatever it is that you're setting now. You've got ideas that you want to set in motion, purpose that you want to fulfill. You've got a lot of experience and knowledge from past attempts that can back you. It gives you a unique advantage, like you're on the next level. So there's no need to doubt yourself. Make sure to let go of expectations though. Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. So that was your reading, Horse-Drawn Portrait. I hope it gives you insight. I hope it helps you understand the insights you've already had. You know, removes the doubt, because I feel like the cards initially started telling you, you know, you've already got this under wraps. There is some self-doubt going on, but you've actually got this under wraps. So I hope this gives you the confirmation and the confidence, you know, to apply the insights that you already have. Follow your own intuition and, you know, use your own knowledge and own experience from the past to expand on your ideas and into your purposes. And you tomorrow, you cannot cheer on my channel, unfortunately. I'm not an affiliate. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm not an affiliate, so subs and bits are not an option for me. And I prefer it that way because, you know, Twitch takes 50% of your bits and 50% of your subs. So you might give me a $10 sub, I will only get $5 out of it. The 3 stars. Let's have a look and see what they're up to. What they doing? What they doing? What they doing? Nah, I don't like it. Tarot. So who's in the tarot section? It's Practical Magic. Curio Wizard. $64 viewers in the tarot section, and we've got a Nikita Klein. Interesting. Not English though. Okay. Peel Knights, Minecraft. No. There's nobody in the tarot section today. Okay. Okay. Art. Thanks, isn't you tomorrow. The reading was great, it helped, and I will give it all in. Keep it all in mind. Oh, what's going on there? Miss Galina is now following. Thank you so much for the follow, Miss Galina. I will try and do that. Not having expectations is a hard part. I'm surprised the Queen of Swords would be about not having any, since it's such a determined planning type of card. Exactly, you know, you plan, you come up with ideas, and then when things don't go that way, it's very disappointing. And so you can avoid that disappointment by letting go of your expectations. But it's interesting to hear how you have some sort of understanding of the cards yourself. Dakar Company. Where's the people? There's no people. There's no people. Okay. We have to go with 3 stars then. It was totally worth the tip, the $9, if anyone is thinking about it. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that recognition. The 3 stars 1. Is that right? No, it's not right. So, Mescalina, I'm right at the end of my stream. I will be live tomorrow, though I won't be doing tarot tomorrow. I will just be doing arts. I stream just about every day except on a Saturday. So I'm going to raid you into another chat where they might be doing readings or they might not be. Yeah, let's see. And thank you guys, thank you so much for all of the subs and all the likes. Much appreciation to every single one of you and the tips. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.